what is Alias going to do with the rest of the day and with these 3 new Shawanti people that he's got they rescued from the from Akai, from being bought by Akai.
Um, is do I know who's inside the library?
Yes, because you actually went there with them. Remember, you went with
Okay.
Philippe and Amber at first, and then you decided not to go in there because they were like, we need, like, you haven't been here before. We need a vial of your, like, we need a little bit of your blood. Um, I think they explained. I don't know if they explained to you why they needed it, but they explained it to Amber and Philippe the first time they went. That it's so that if they try to steal something, they can use the blood to like track them, basically.
All right. I'm going to go to the
But yeah,
library.
you were like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this with with. So okay, so you're gonna go to the library
Yeah.
and you just have these 3 guys following you then.
Yep.
Okay, and so you do so. When you walk in, there's let's see. I guess we'll roll a dice to see if the guy's actually at the desk or not. Because sometimes he's not.
So where are Tiki and I? We're at the Canary.
You
We're
guys
in
went
that
back to
room
the
we have.
Canary house. Yeah,
Who else is in there with us?
just you two. Everyone else is
Just
at
us.
the library right now, apparently.
And Tiki, what were we doing at the the what was it?
You guys weren't really doing anything in particular. You guys decided. Remember, Tiki wanted to go check out the lake, so you guys already did that, and there was not really much there. It was just a lake. It was very strange because like you can't really. It doesn't make sense how it's there because you couldn't find any source of water coming into it. That was kind of one of the more interesting things about it. So there might have been some shenanigans going on there. And then there was a gnome, like a gnome fisherman you talked to there, I believe.
I don't
But
think I
other
was
than
there for
that,
that session, so I don't really
no,
know
that was
anything
the
that happened
session.
there.
That was the session you weren't there for. So that was a really short session, so not a whole lot happened. This is like the day after, or no, this is the same day actually. This is the same day you guys went and talked to the other oracle that has like the same curse as Tiki that kind of gave you a bit
I
of
do
an
remember
info
that.
dump. Yeah, so and the day after you guys I mean, it's the day after you guys got here, I guess. So you spent pretty much all of yesterday at the bottoms at that one bar there. I forget the name of it, but I can look it up.
The one where I won that belt and we had good
Yeah.
time.
So actually, that was when you missed. Alias actually ran into somebody that you guys that like knew that recognized him from when you guys were there. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you're looking for your brother, right?" And basically invited Alias to go with him to the slave market. And while he was there, he like pointed out, like, "Oh, there's the guy who's been buying all the Shawanti. He's the one. Like, if your brother was seen here, he's probably the one that bought him." So Alias ended up buying like they were selling like there were some orcs there that were selling some Shawanti tribesmen that they like captured in a raid, and so he bought 3 Shawanti warriors basically that got captured by orcs. And so yeah, that's pretty much all that really happened last session, which was like 3 weeks ago now. But so yeah, when Alias, when you get there, the same guy that was there this morning is there again. So he kind of looks up. He's like, "Oh, you again." You you and your friends here trying to get into the library. He kind of like eyes your 3 followers.
So this library desk, is it just like a desk blocking the way, or is it just like off to the side?
It's not blocking the way exactly. Like there's you kind of walk. You have to walk next to it basically in order to get to the rest of the library. There's like a door that kind of leads into like a larger opening, and it's kind of like this multi-level thing with like kind kind of stairs on the edges of it, and it's kind of like this big open tower in the middle.
Okay. Is this guy like bounce? Is he like bouncer like?
No, he looks like a librarian. Like he looks. If anything, he might maybe if he has any sort of ability to like fight or anything, he's probably you assume that he's probably like some sort of monk or spellcaster or something like that. Like he's wearing like these gray robes basically, and yeah, he doesn't look very threatening.
Okay. I'm just gonna like grunt at him and motion my slaves to follow me and just walk past him.
Uh, okay, give me a second. As you doing that, okay. So as he's, yeah, I gotta find some stab blocks. So as you're doing that, he's telling you, yeah, he tells you like, no, you can't go in there unless you're willing to give us a blood sample.
All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of self roleplay here. Taking my slaves off to the side, chatting with them.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask if.
So you don't keep going then, like, and you actually listen to
No,
him when he
I
kind of frantically, he's
I
like, hey, what are you
walk
doing?
I walk outside so you can't hear me.
Okay, so he's like kind of like as you're going out there, he's kind of like eyeing you and like kind of sitting up from his desk more because before he's kind of slouched a little bit and kind of like he has like a book that he's like looking at, right? Anyway,
Talking to my slave, or I don't want to call them slaves, and
your followers, I guess.
followers.
Purchased
Yes.
friends.
I mean, you technically haven't freed them or anything yet.
Yeah. Oops. Nope.
Okay, what are you telling them then?
So I'm discussing amongst them, seeing if one of them will go in the library for me to find Philippe or Amber, but cough cough, just Philippe.
uh, let's see here. Did I ever give you like names for these Shawanti? I don't think I did.
Nope.
So, yeah, let's get some names for these guys.
All right.
Whole backstories and identity.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know they all have kind of a shared backstory. They're all Shawanti warriors, pretty much, that got captured in basically a fight that happened out on the Storval Plateau with these orc raiders. So their names are using the Shawanti random name generator. Besha, Dahosa, and Pezzy.
Okay, let me just add this to my notes section after my spreadsheet loads. Um,
But yeah, one of them will volunteer. We'll say Dahosa does. He says, but he says what he does. He says, well, I'd be willing to. I mean, obviously you've kind of purchased us from the slave market, but if I have any leverage at all, I would like to say that I will do it if you are going to help us rescue our comrades. Rescue our
Your
brothers in
comrades.
arms. Yes, our brothers in arms. The 9 others
the rest that were bought?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm willing to risk this then. And even though this seems very much like some sort of dark magic, giving these strange robed men my blood.
Okay. Okay.
So he agrees to do it. So yeah, I guess he walks in then and kind of looks looks back at you for direction.
I kind of give him a description of Philippe. I tell him that he's most likely going to have his face buried in a book somewhere. And since I don't know the layout of the library, I'm not much of help to him.
Okay. So yeah, the monk who's like sitting at the desk seems like really suspicious about this. Like why? He's like, you don't really look the scholarly type. But he's like following. He's doing it anyway, like following protocol. And he explains, he's like, this blood is so if you try to steal anything from this library, we or someone we hire will be able to find you. So don't try any funny business. Don't try any sort of magic to escape either. That won't work. We have measures to avoid these sorts of things. Uh, if you are planning to steal it all, just know that you're not the first would-be thief to enter the Thoracic Spire. And anyway, he does like the little, gets a little bit, collects a little bit of Dohasa's blood, and lets Dohasa go in. So he starts wandering around looking for someone who matches. Did you just give him Philippe's description, or did you give him Amber's description as well?
Just Philippe.
Okay. So yeah, he wanders around, and I think Philippe was actually on one of the lower floors anyway, because like Amber was at the top floor because she knows like Thessalonian, I think, whereas
I
Philippe
was on the
doesn't.
third floor.
Yeah, you were the area where you could find stuff that was like written in Taldane and other languages that you actually know. So eventually he finds you, and so he comes up to you. He comes up to Philippe and he says kind of like quietly, because he realizes that he's in a library, even though Shawanti don't really have many libraries. Uh,
When he
and
walked up to me, I put my hand on my weapon, by the way.
okay, and he's like, "Hey, Alias is looking for you. He said to come in here and find you. He's out
Alias?
front of he's out front of the library.
How do you know Alias? Who are you?
It's a long story, but we met down in the slave market. He kind
Okay,
of
I'm gonna sense his motive.
okay. He kind of rescued me from this other guy that bought up all my comrades.
Well, I would sense his motive, except I don't have my character sheet open because I'm a bad player.
Oh, okay.
1 second. I have some ridiculous. Oh wait, no, I have macros. I'm stupid. I have some ridiculous sense motive stuff going on. And
Yeah, with like D6s and whatnot.
and advantage.
Wait, why do you get advantage?
I get advantage from my what is it?
Is it like a
Investigator
feat or
talent,
something?
Empathy.
Oh, okay. Huh. Well, you still got bad rolls, but I would say as far as you can tell, he doesn't seem like he's lying. It seems like he's being earnest.
Okay, yeah, it is that one where like I get advantage on my sense motive rolls, and once a day or something like that, I can spend an inspiration point to read someone's mind, like detect thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Anywho,
That's pretty good.
Okay, so yeah, it's perfect for me too. So I'm like, okay, I guess I believe you, since he appears like he doesn't have any thing, like he's a slave, so I imagine he's pretty bare boned as far as he doesn't have gear or anything on. So
Yeah, he has like no gear. He's got like really Probably pretty tattered clothes still. I
So
don't
if
think
it,
Alias
yeah,
has
I'm
had
like, if
time to
it comes
buy him
down
like
to
new
a
ones or
fight,
anything.
I'm
This guy's
fairly confident
completely
I can beat him.
unarmed.
Okay,
And
so
I don't think
I'll
you
go
guys
with
are disarmed. Like the monks totally just let you guys come in with all your weapons. They don't really give a fuck. They're just
that.
like,
I was
just don't
trying to
try.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they don't. They didn't care about that. They're. Yeah. That should probably tell you a little bit about why it was not a good idea for Alias probably to try to just walk in.
Yep. So I
I don't think he
will
was gonna
follow
die
him.
for what it's worth, though. It just would have been. It would have been interesting, though.
I will follow the slave guy, Dehosa, out.
Okay. Do you try to like go find Amber first, or
Does Dehosa mention Amber at all?
no? For some reason, Alias just told him to
Okay,
get
then no.
Philippe. Okay.
Then I'm just like, okay, well, Alias probably just has a quick question or something. I'll go see what he needs.
Okay. So yeah, he walks back down through the different levels and gets back down to the bottom of it and back out to the lobby where I assume Alias and his two other followers are Besha and Pezzy are waiting. So yeah, now Alias gets to see Philippe
So
again.
hey, what's up?
Um,
I see
I think
made some friends.
yeah, I purchased these fine warriors down at the docks.
Purchased, and I raise an eyebrow. I didn't know you were a believer in the slave trade,
I'm not.
especially your own people. Oh, I see. Okay, you bought them to save them from slavery. Okay.
Correct. And the other person who was, or there was another person there buying slaves. In fact, he bought all the other slaves. And there's a belief that he might have brought my brother some time ago.
Oh, I see. Well, if he's buying all of them, yeah, that would make sense. So what do you need from me? What can we do?
Well, um, to for summoning you, uh, I promised Dohosa that I would help try and free his brothers in arms from the slave purchaser,
Kai Ardok.
Kai. Yeah, Kai.
I see. Messing with someone that powerful can be dangerous. I'm just the man for the job.
All right.
Why don't we go find Tiki and Brugar and see if they want to lend their hands or whatever they have.
I just like to think of Philippe just sitting there like, do dwarves have hands?
They're so far down, I mean, I never looked that far down to the ground.
They're so pudgy that he can't tell them apart from toes.
Maybe a good thing that Brugar isn't here right now, right? He's back at the Canary House.
I have no
and
idea
sitting
what
here
you're doing.
discussing.
I'm getting Tiki a Bloody Mary to help her with her like weird hangover and hunger.
Okay.
Okay, so
Probably.
I'll be like, should I go get Amber then? And we hadn't quite finished our research here, but perhaps she will want to come with us, perhaps she'll want to stay, continue her research.
That would be the courteous thing to do.
Okay, well, I'll be back in a moment, or shall I meet you somewhere else?
We'll wait here. I don't know my way around the city very well.
Very well, I'll be back shortly. And I go off to find Amber, where I believe she's on
Okay.
the highest floor, or sixth floor. I don't know if that's the highest.
It's the highest one you can reach. There's actually ones that are higher that there's no way you can see to get up there. Like at least no stairs up there. But there definitely are like other floors you can see from like in the center where it's opened up there. There's like a kind of a center opening. So you suspect that the only way to get up there would be if someone were to say teleport or fly up there. Or there
Okay.
might be a secret door up there, but so there is stuff up further up, but you can't get up there that you know how to do it at least. I think you guys ended up deciding not to do it. Or at least Amber, when she was like looking up there, was like, "I bet we're not supposed to go up there." But
Yep.
yeah, that was Amber's intuition on the idea at least. So I'm lazy, so I'm gonna say Amber's going to not want to go with you because she's gonna say that I'm on my so close to a breakthrough here.
Okay.
But let me know if you find some more information on that end, and maybe I'll join you later.
Okay.
I don't know if Amber would have actually went with or not, but since Mantis
No,
isn't here,
I think that
Amber's
makes sense.
yeah, that makes it easier for me.
That's kind of what I was
Especially
hoping
because
would happen.
I don't think I have Amber's character sheet unless it's in Roll20 maybe. Maybe it's in here. I don't know if it actually is updated here or not. Looks like it might be. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it right now.
Okay, Amber stays there. I go back down to the entrance and say, okay, Amber's going to continue her research. She said she's, nearly at a breakthrough. And I imagine we'll just meet up with her some point at the end.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess since you don't know your way around too well, I'm not great either, but I maybe know a little bit more. I will lead the way. I don't remember if I know where Tiki and Brugar are at. I don't think I do.
You don't actually know where they're at right now.
What time is it?
It is probably like early or maybe mid-afternoon.
Oh, they could be anywhere in the city right now. Perhaps we can do some preliminary research on our own. What do you say, Alias? Just me, you, and your posse.
What?
They introduce themselves to you as Besha, Dahosa, and Pezzy.
Pezia is close with posse. Okay. So no, I don't say that. I greet them and say I'm Philippe, and I'm glad to help you and Alias free your brothers and sisters. Slavery is a terrible institution, sort of like marriage, but more about that later.
This is like Philippe's backstory.
Maybe. Who knows?
Oh man. All right.
Yeah, I say, where should we begin? We need to figure out some more information about this guy who bought the other slaves.
I believe you
Do
guys know a little
anything
bit about. I believe. I don't know if you guys all heard this or just Alias, but when they were talking about this guy, like the guys from when the freemen were talking about this guy, they were mentioning, that he was before he even went there. They were mentioning him. They said it was really strange that this guy, because he's an Ardok, it was really strange he's buying slaves because the Ardoks run the Bis section of Kaer Maga. You can see it on the map on the very far left. And the main thing the source of all their power there basically is that they are all like it's a family of wizards basically, and they make golems, and that's like the golems basically they use those to like as like enforcers and to like run a
Manual
lot of the
labor.
stuff like yeah for like manual labor and that sort of thing, and like that's where all their power comes from. It's very strange that they would have any reason to buy slaves when they just have all these golems that can do everything for them. But yeah, you know that they all live in the Abyss section, and they're basically the like since they're in charge of it, they're basically some of the most influential and powerful people in Kaer Maga as a whole, for that matter. But especially in that section, where they're like basically the law keepers there as well. And
Okay, and who is the guy who bought all the slaves? What's his name?
his name was Akai Ardok, and he is yeah he's a member of that family.
Is it
You don't really know a whole lot else.
A-A-I?
Achai.
Okay, thanks. And so I was gonna ask, like, if I did like a knowledge local or something, would I know more? Or maybe I know
Yeah,
more.
you might know more about him.
No,
You could also probably use
pretty,
like
pretty knowledgeable guy.
diplomacy for gather information as well. Ask around.
Start with
Either
knowledge
way.
local, because I have a way with the locals. I pick up a lot of things.
You probably would know that specifically that he's not one. He's like one of the like kind of up and coming people in the Ardok family. He's one of the people that is like he's not at the very top of it, but he's close to the top of considerations for who's going to become the new patriarch of the Ardok family when the current patriarch, who's an old man and probably likely to die any day now. I mean, not really. He's still pretty healthy, but he's really old, and so there's kind of a lot of like power struggles there for like trying to become the next patriarch. When
Okay.
when the current patriarch Merriman Ardok, when he ends up dying.
Do I know how the next patriarch is usually decided?
There's like officially the current patriarch kind of gets to kind of declare who his successor is going to be, but officially, like unofficially, it doesn't always work out that way, and sometimes there's actually like a bit of like bloody power struggles that happen upon basically like almost internal succession wars within the family.
Okay.
But other than that, you don't really know much about the official. Apart from that, you're pretty sure that the patriarch has a lot of say in it normally.
Okay. So I don't really know, and talking to Alias, I don't really know where to begin with this. The Kai guy, he seems like we want to be careful around him. We don't want to just be asking anyone about him and let people know we're interested, because he probably has, spies all over someone that powerful. I don't know, how do you want to go about helping save your brothers and sisters?
Besha
Violence
chimes in
or-
and says, "Well, I know for sure that he already knows about Alias when when Alias came in and bought the three of us. He
Yeah, that would
didn't
draw
look,
attention to you, wouldn't it?
and he didn't look very happy about it.
What kind of role is it to gather information?
That's just a
Diplomacy?
diplomacy roll. Yep.
Um, okay,
Obviously, you get more valuable or more useful information depending on where you're actually gathering information at, and but it's also potentially dangerous to gather information in the wrong place.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that or not.
Do the
I'm for sure
patriarchs
he asked
always
around
need to
about me.
be? Do the patriarchs need to be of the family? Like, is it a family like a mafia family or a family like blood family?
You would know that most of the Ardok family, like especially the leaders of the Ardok family, are blood relatives, but that other other mages can enter the Ardok family through marrying the daughters of the Ardok family, basically.
Okay, so it is all like actual family, not like just anyone can join the mafia family.
Yeah.
Okay, so that takes that plan out the window.
Well, but then again, there's, like I said, a lot of. There's a lot
There's
of people, a
competing
lot of
families, right?
like branches, competing branches of it. You mean?
I mean,
Or
like, this is the Ardok family. They control Biss. Are there other competing families that are very powerful in Kaer Maga? That you know
Kermog is
got
pretty
something
much
to gain.
all. Kermog is pretty much all owned by various. Like there's not really much structure to it. It's very anarchic, I guess. Like
Okay, so it's just the
it's
Biss
pretty much.
district that has
Yeah, they pretty much
this sort of
all like.
setup.
Yeah, like I don't know. There's not really much like this is actually one of the more orderly parts of Karamaga. Most places don't really have a strict like ruler or anything.
I see. Okay.
You guys are currently in the high side stacks, which you know is where a lot of like rich people live. But again, it's like a thing. A lot of people that are here come here because they don't have to answer to anybody.
Because what I'm thinking, Alias, is if we're gonna take on this task of freeing these Shawanti people, we need a powerful ally to help us out. We can't take on an entire family on our own. Do you know, or do I know, what families are sympathetic to the cause of freeing slaves?
You know that there's a place called the Bottoms that has a group called the Freemen who run a have a bar that you happen to go to like yesterday, and that their whole cause is to freeing
True.
slaves.
But did they seem powerful? I feel like they're not.
Uh,
Or
yeah, you don't really know 100%. You do know, like Alias went there with the with some, so maybe I don't know. Maybe he'll chime in. Maybe I don't know. But Alias talked to one of them. I believe his name was it Adam? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So and when he was with him, he said that he was explaining that a lot of times they go in there and they actually just buy slaves from directly from the slave market and then set them free. Like that's one of the main ways that they rescue. But yeah, that's like their whole mission. They're like most of the people down there are freed slaves themselves that are working to free other slaves.
okay, well I think we should maybe talk to them and see if they have any advice on how we can go about freeing more, and specifically freeing the ones that uh, Akai has already purchased.
Okay, and on a detour, are Tiki and Brugar at the Canary House still right now?
Yeah, I'm helping her
Okay.
get over her hangover, and the Bloody Mary is also good to kind of like, fill your stomach. It's got
Okay.
fruits and vegetables in it. She's like on call, so I'm just kind of here listening to the others.
Okay.
But I am here.
All right. Let me know if there's, I guess, want to change up anything on that end. I guess because I think they're going. The other two are going to the bottoms.
Well, I'm back, but
Well, that's where we are, right?
You guys are well. The Canary House is actually in the hospice center, so that's what, or the hospice
Oh, right,
section.
right.
So that's why, yeah, that's why I was asking. And maybe if you guys, like the bottoms was where that other bar you guys were at like yesterday. So maybe if you wanted, you guys could go back there. But
Yeah, this split party stuff
find
is
the
like
name of that one.
weirding me out. So whatever we can do to get everybody back together, that's what I would like. I feel like
We'll just have them come pick us up.
I mean, I don't know.
We don't know where
what's
you
going on.
are, technically.
You might think to check there though.
I wouldn't think to check there in the middle of the day is the thing I was thinking. I was thinking that Alias and I would go talk to these freemen, and then at the end of the day, we'd all meet back up at the end.
At the Canary House, then, yeah.
At the Canary, yeah. That's what I was thinking, but if we want to do something different, that's fine.
Well, I mean, what if you get in trouble or whatnot, and then the rest of us have to wait for? But if we want to leave, then what if we get in an encounter and then you have to wait, and I don't know. So, yeah, wherever we are is where we are. I'm ultimately I'm just waiting for everybody to come back together.
Alright, well, perhaps I'll suggest to Alias, why don't we check back at the Canary House and see if anyone else is there, if Brugar and Tiki are around, and, we can all go see the Freemen together.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll do that.
Okay.
Alright, well, we're at the
So
bar.
Yeah.
Is at the bar at the Canary House. So, I mean, they'd probably find you pretty easy because that's like right on the ground floor of the Canary House. Like,
Yep.
So, yeah, you guys would see them there having like lunch, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. That lunch sounds like a good idea to me too. So I'll order a plate.
Tiki says, "Don't you want one of these?" And she holds up a Bloody Mary.
Ew, tomato. I don't like tomato.
You guys also noticed that Aelios has 3 Shawanti tribesmen following him in.
Yeah, that probably gets Tiki's attention. She probably just observes
I guess I'll
it.
inquire. What have you been up to?
I just turned to Alias and let him explain.
The follower, one of the Pezzi, steps forward and says that this man purchased us from the slave auction. He hasn't told us his
I turn
intentions
to Alias,
yet.
and I ask him, what are you going to do with them?
I'll free them eventually.
Eventually. So, what are you going to do with them?
I think they might be of use in helping me rescue my brother or find my brother and maybe save their brothers in arms.
Can they help us too?
What's helping us?
They're helping us, like carrying some things.
Of course they can.
We could help you fight too, one of them chimes in.
Even better.
Of course, we don't have any weapons anymore. The orcs kind of took them all.
Well, we'll just fix that. I
Yeah,
stretch
I don't
my
have
hand
any
out and
money
I
to
shake their
outfit
hand.
them.
I introduce myself as Brugar Stoneheart.
Okay, they
Mercenary
introduce
currently
themselves.
employed with this band of adventurers.
Tiki waves.
They introduce themselves as Besha, Dohasa, and Pezzi. And
BDP, got
yeah, they are all they were all captured fighting some orcs out on the Storville Plateau. defend their nomadic tribe that they were a part of. Most of the tribe got away, but their particular band of were all captured or killed trying to defend the villagers. And that's how they
Are they
ended
all
up
male?
in. All
Yes.
three of these are, yes. In fact, I think all 12 of them were. I don't think they were. I think they were all men.
They were all men, yeah.
Alright. Well, I only have a few gold, so I can only outfit like one of you. But that's what I'll do. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, Besha.
Besha? Okay. You're gonna outfit Besha then. Whenever you guys
Yeah.
get a chance, I guess.
Well, I tell the others that let's go find a smithy or something that we can buy some arms and armor from.
Looks like they have arms already to me. Ha 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 ha.
Tiki nods. Yeah. Arms.
This is
I
kind
see
of
what you were
ironic
trying to
because
do.
I deleted my follower section in my character sheet.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I think I can just copy it from another sheet.
Probably.
I asked Besha what kind of weapon he prefers to wield.
Let's see. He says he normally wields a battle axe.
Oh, then it's not too much of a step up to a great axe. I will buy
No.
him a great axe for 20 gold pieces.
Okay. You guys probably can find a somewhere that sells like basic weapons and whatnot pretty easily within like down market.
Yep.
Or
And I'll get him some leather armor that's easy to move around in.
okay.
And I hand him my pack of things. And I ask
Actually,
him
I have
to
160 gold, so I can't outfit.
ask him to take care of my stuff while you're traveling with us. I'll take care of you
Okay. He agrees to do
and
that.
everybody else.
Is anybody else gonna chip in to outfit the followers?
Yeah. How much did he contribute?
I spent 30 gold to get him a great axe and
A great axe.
leather armor.
Yep.
Yeah. Give me a second to.
And so out of character, I'll tell you guys these guys are basically like level 2 fighters, pretty much.
Yeah,
So
that's
they're
fine.
somewhat-
Not barbarians?
There's I guess they might be barbarians. Either way, I don't think I.
I mean,
actually
fighter probably
have-
makes more sense. Barbarian is for people who have tapped into their rage.
Yeah, I think they're just fighters.
Well, Philippe being stingy like normal is not going to leap forward to offer money, since it looks like Alias and Brugar have it covered.
Oh,
Wait,
But
we have three
likewise,
guys.
Philippe doesn't expect them to do anything for him.
We have 3 dudes.
We're only gearing 2?
They're
I
gearing
geared
all of them.
Besha.
I think Alias is gearing the other two.
Maybe.
I think
Are they
short
just all
on
skilled
gold.
in Warhammer or War Axe, Battle Axe?
What
given
weapons do they
which
want?
one? Wait, which one you giving a war axe?
What are they skilled in?
I'll pitch in 30 to clear up one.
They tell you that they're like trained in using any, like pretty much any weapon, any of the basic like martial weapons, but you know, Like Bishop
Okay.
prefers axes, and the other two probably prefer swords. I'll say,
Okay.
but that's just like personal preference. They can use any weapon you give them, unless it's an exotic weapon.
Here, I'll spend 30 gold, gear up one of them. Whatever the preferences are.
Is 30 gold enough to give them like probably like
Weapon and like very simple armor.
Yeah.
yeah like a leather armor.
Great axe is
and,
expensive, so you can give him like
yeah.
a smaller weapon for cheaper.
With 30 gold, you might be able to give him like a shield and a sword and a leather armor or something too, for example,
Yeah.
right?
Probably.
So you bought him a great axe.
So we'll say Dahosa gets like a maybe I don't know if
Longsword?
this is 12 gold. I'm just guesstimating, but longsword, like a longsword, a small shield, and a leather armor. I think you can probably get those for 30 gold.
Let me check.
I'm not gonna bother looking it up. I'm just gonna assume that's probably pretty accurate, unless somebody else wants to do it.
Let's see, leather armor's 10. Short or
Maybe you can even get a large. I was saying a longsword. Those are probably like 10 gold as well or something, I think. And then 15, okay. And then like a small shield is probably like 5 gold as well, right? Like a small wooden shield or something. So that'd be like 30 gold.
Buckler's 5 gold. Light wooden shield is 3. Steel shield's 9. I'll spend the extra to give a light steel shield.
Okay. And I'm gonna buy Pezzy a great sword.
Okay.
No, yeah, great sword. And ask if Philippe can contribute for armor.
Uh-oh. Philippe, they're asking for your money.
I suppose. So I will hesitantly pay, what, 20 gold for leather armor?
It's like 10 gold for leather armor, actually.
10.
Oh, 10? Okay. Is that what would be good, or would they prefer something heavier?
No, they're not going to complain, like, no matter what you give them. That's what everyone else got. Everyone else got leather
If
armor.
I ask... Okay, alright, I'll just give them leather armor then.
Okay.
Okay, so 10 gold. There, I bought leather armor and I want to do a bluff check to act like I'm happy about it.
Okay.
I don't do a very good job. It's maybe convincing. But if you'll let me, the way I'd like that to go off is they believe me, but everyone in the party that knows me knows that I'm not actually happy about
Yeah,
it.
sure. That's fine.
Okay, then that.
You say they're fighters or barbarians?
They're fighters. They're like
Okay.
level 2 fighters.
Okay.
I'm making sure I actually have like a stat block for them, so I'm kind of like building that in here a lot real fast.
Okay. I'm building my character sheet for them too.
Alright, so where are we going?
Well, let's see. After you guys basically buy some like this basic equipment, probably in down market from like a stall somewhere. It's probably like someone that from outside of town that's kind of selling selling arms and armor. Where I think somebody mentioned going to the bottoms, but I don't know if you guys are still going to be going there.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So I asked the others, who are we looking for?
We're looking for the Freeman. I want to see
The
what
Freeman.
they can do to help us try and free more other men.
Hmm. Well, we're probably gonna have to ask around and look around to find them. I doubt that they just have a building. Big ol' sign. Free slaves here.
Well, you say that, but you guys actually have already met them.
I don't remember.
Okay. You'll be reminded soon then, I guess. Anyway, Philippe maybe already knows as well that they're down in the bottoms.
Yep.
Maybe we can ask around at that bar where everybody knows our names.
Yeah. So
Yeah, sounds
let's go
good.
that way.
All right.
Okay. So you guys are going back to the Commons then, the bar you were at just yesterday.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
How old are these Shoanti that we have with us?
Two of them are in like kind of their mid 20s, and the other one's kind of like younger than them. Is like he's only like 19. And that would be Pezzy's 19. Everyone else is in their mid 20s. So they're fairly young. I don't know, how old's Alias? Are they like older or younger than Alias then?
Alias is 23.
Okay, so two of them are a little bit older than Alias, and one's younger than Alias.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna, I guess, keep an eye out while we're walking around town, rolling around.
I'm not even gonna bother.
We're making our way downtown.
Tiki's probably very distracted.
Is that
Okay.
drink making her feel better?
I don't know. I'm debating on like, do frogs know what tomatoes are? Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
So it's
It probably
I'm
depends a
sure
little
it
bit
does
on
taste funny.
Tiki's
Because like
exact
drinking tomato
background, too.
juice is kind of weird, right?
right.
I don't know how to describe like the taste. Like it's not sour, but it's not bitter. It's just tomatoey.
Right.
But the celery is there for her to chew.
Maybe some loud noise will catch your attention. Yeah, is it rude to go to a bar and be like, "Do you have any flies?"
You can ask. Never
I
hurts
like
to ask.
flies. I like me some flies.
What about spiders?
Probably. Spiders can be poisonous though, so that might be like risky.
Maybe you're a frog.
Yeah, but frogs can get poisoned by spiders too.
Unless you are poisoned. I don't know.
I'm not. That would be sweet.
Alright, I
So we're
got
at the
these.
bar, or what's the dealio? What are we doing?
Yes. Okay. So you guys get to the bar in the Commons, and so yeah, when you get there, of course, people kind of start noticing as you walk in. Like they notice Brugar and are like really excited to see Brugar. But surprisingly enough, they are also really happy about seeing Alias, and you hear of people like, "Oh man, I heard about what you did down at the down in Down Market. That Ardog guy was so mad." So like yeah, people are like really like congratulatory to like Alias standing up to a Kai Ardok.
Yeah, let's give him a
So they've
round of
warmed up
applause,
to
everybody.
Alias. Yeah, they warmed to Alias, whereas before they were kind of only really, excited about Brugar because he was, who won the belt, the championship belt. But yeah, so that's kind of what the scene you guys are entering into. And the people are like asking you some, like maybe asking Alias some questions like, "Oh man, like how mad was he? Did he really? Was he really like shaking as they said?
Um,
Did he really
I
storm out
wasn't
after the auction?"
I wasn't paying much attention to him throughout the auction. I only looked at him once or twice, but he looked pretty upset then, and I turned to the followers and asked if they saw more than I did.
Yeah, they kind of elaborate as well, maybe exaggerate. Talk about yeah, he was fuming, and he stomped out of the down market, doubtlessly out to some dark corner where he could plot his next nefarious move.
Nefarious.
Yeah, they don't think too highly of it.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
But yeah, a lot of people that the commons are like, yeah, some of our brothers there told us about it. And like one of them was like, I was there, it was amazing, and so yeah, they're talking about they're like Alias has kind of become like a hot topic there, I guess.
Oh, God.
So yeah, some of them are like offering Alias and drinks and Brugar drinks as well, and you guys are
Oh,
pretty much
yeah,
getting
thank
there
you.
already. Already, people are giving you like free beers and shit.
If they try offering some to Tiki, I'll have them like hold off, but I'll ask them if they can bring her something like non-alcoholic to sip on.
Oh, good, because Tiki almost reached for him.
Okay. So they seem understanding and like oblige that. Bring out some sort of like non-alcoholic juice or something.
What could go wrong?
Well, a lot of things could go wrong, but yeah.
Don't worry, I'll help you clean up the mess.
But at least so far, nothing's going wrong. So anyway, what do you guys do now that you guys are here? And
Well, Alias, looks like we're in the company of a lot of people who think pretty well of you freeing your fellow tribesmen. I'm thinking that now would be the time to ask around.
Um, I'm gonna ask around if they know if or if they know if Akai went around like digging into me after the auction.
So they say, well, not that we know, but we obviously don't get along too well with the Kai, so it's really hard for us to tell what he's up to most days.
Okay.
He he usually, I don't know what he's up to usually. As far as I know, he just holds himself up in the Biss area whenever he's not purchasing slaves at the market. But I'm not sure where he takes them. It's every time we've tried to like follow him and see where they go, we usually end up getting accosted by uh, his enforcers, the Ardok enforcers in the Biss section. Probably paid thugs of his. I know he runs the one of the forges that makes some of their higher end golems.
Hmm.
Is that in Biss too?
Yeah, it's on the south side of Biss. Now, if you're just looking for information on him, you might be able to get some more from an information broker, perhaps. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe if you can find a way to get into the kiln there, maybe you can find out.
The
Maybe you can
kiln?
find out information directly. Yeah, the kiln. It's the area the Ardocs make all them golems, where all their forges and whatnot
Hmm.
are.
Alright.
But yeah, we've been trying to figure out where he takes all of his where he takes those for a while, and I don't know if there's been any progress on that. This is like just one of the guys that like goes, just some random guy that you're talking to there that is was at the down market when Alios bought like these three Dohasa, Pezzy, and Besha.
Perhaps there's someone with a bit more authority who would have more information.
What are you talking about? You mean somebody, one of us?
Who's in charge of the freemen?
Well, I mean, we're all freemen, so that means we don't really have
Not who
any
owns
strict
you,
boss. But
but who's
the
organizing your efforts?
well, most of us follow guidance of a man named Holman Wright.
Okay, and where can we find him?
He's probably around somewhere. I think he's got like some building that they hold up in, and they plan raids and such. But between you and me, these raids they never happen. If you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll
Lots of
say you
inaction.
get pretty you get pretty clear that it means that they totally do happen, but that they're not supposed to talk about it. They officially don't happen.
Ah, got it.
Okay.
Maybe this one is the one to talk to about seeing if we can do something about the Ardok.
Yeah.
I think so.
Where do we find him?
There's a place called the Price of Freedom. It's here in the bottoms.
I see.
And what is the price of freedom?
It's a fighting academy that's located within this district. You can find it further. You can find it a little bit further south of here, and over to the west. If you were going south and you get to the edge where the God's Mouth ossuary is, you've gone too far. But it's a little bit north of that.
Okay. So let's go there.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
So off we go.
Okay.
Find it? Want to roll something or?
No, you can find it pretty easily. You got directions basically. So I'll say you find it really pretty easily. It's kind of like right over here. So yeah, this is like a kind of rather large building that kind of has some walls around it. And you get there, you kind of see there's actually people outside doing kind of like training exercises. And there's kind of like this guy standing there who pretty clearly looks like he's the one directing these training exercises. He's like barking at them, and telling them like their footwork's bad and whatnot. This might be somewhat nostalgic for Brugar because I think he went to some sort of fighter academy.
I did.
Or war academy or something like that. So maybe this is like a somewhat familiar sight in that respect to him. But yeah.
Perhaps.
So
Oh, I never
yeah,
did
there's
see
a
that thing.
oh yeah. Don't worry about it for now. Just give it to me whenever you get it to me, I guess. But yeah, the guy that's kind of like barking orders to this, there's about a dozen of them right now, and they're kind of doing like training exercises, like basically sparring with each other. And then he's sitting there like yelling at them about, what they're screwing up. This guy. He's got basically like one eye basically in a scar like running down, whereas his other eye isn't anymore. And yeah, he kind of sees you guys come in through like the gates there, and uh, kind of like wanders over towards you, like while still kind of yelling some stuff over to them. And then eventually he gets in front of you guys, and he's like, "Okay, who are you guys?" Kind of eyeing you up and down, especially Tiki, who looks very strange to him. You guys new recruits?
No, I'm surprised you haven't seen my friend here though, and I motion towards Alias. You haven't heard of him. He's the one who bought all those God, what's their Shawanti? Is that their name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shawanti. Bought them down at the slave market to save them from Akai.
Kai, you say? Well, when did this happen?
Earlier today.
Ah, that'd be why I've been very busy. I haven't left the academy today.
I see. Well, that's respectful.
He reaches
Well,
out his
we
hand
decided to...
and introduces himself. He's like, they call me Black Marin around here.
Black what?
Black Marn.
Black Marin.
Marin, okay. Marin. Like the top laner on SKT or whatever.
Yeah, I wrote it in chat for you.
Nice to meet you.
He's
I
like,
am
so.
Philippe Lizwesta. This is Alias, or my companion's Alias, and Brugar and
I'm
Tiki.
Brugar.
And
Well,
these are the Shwanti we or Alias saved from slavery. And I let each of them introduce themselves if they want.
Okay, I'll do so. He says, it's like, well, this academy, we're surrounded on all sides by many hostile groups that don't want us here, particularly people that rely on the slave trade, of course.
How have you managed
And
to last this long then?
well, because of this academy, we teach all the people that are the freemen here that how to defend themselves.
I see.
Yeah, yes, I learned most of what I learned from back when I was a Chelish military commander. But I was sold into slavery for disobeying a order. I still think I did the right thing, but at least by my men. But the command did not agree with me. Anyway, what
I like
brings you
to
here?
sense motive. He thinks he did the right thing for his men.
Yeah, sure. You think it like is kind of like a little painful for him to like remember those days a little bit, but like you don't think he's lying about it?
So he is being honest, at least from his perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah,
So
are you joining up with the Freemen? Is that why you're here?
I'll turn to Alias and let him say what he wants to do, because I don't really know his plan.
Well, I see we have two options. We can build an army and take them down by force, or we can infiltrate them from the inside out.
Who exactly are you referring to here?
The Ardok.
I'm assuming the Ardocs. You say, okay. Hmm.
They got more of these show on T people.
Well,
'Cause,
I'm not the one to talk to about this. I think you'll want to talk to. I think you'll want to talk to someone else about that. I think I know just the person. Come with me. And he kind of turns to the rest of the like the other dozen or so people that are out there doing their training exercises and says class dismissed to them, and leads
And
you
they
guys
all
inside
cheer.
the building.
Woo.
They more like sigh, like because they're like
Oh,
can
we're
kind
not
of
heroes.
start trying to catch their
Oh,
breath.
darn. Okay.
Yeah, they're all like yeah, they're all like exhausted from because he's been working them on these training exercises for quite a while. It's like, oh, finally we get to take a break.
So we are the heroes.
I ask
Yeah.
him. I ask him before he goes. Do you like, are they done for the day, or like, do you want me to stand in? Like I've done this before.
Uh, well, if you'd said something earlier, maybe, but I already told them that they can take a break, so
All right.
I'll just. Oh, I'm not gonna go back on that. That'd be a little cruel to them. Anyway, he leads you on into the building there. So you can kind of see there's like you know, it's like a hallway, and there's a bunch of different building like rooms that are. Most of the doors are closed, but a couple of them that are open. There's a place where you can see. I kind of see like an armory. You can see like a spot where there's kind of like kind of looks like a classroom of some sort. It's got like some desks and like a chalkboard maybe, but yeah, continues around and kind of leads you back and to like a smaller office there, and leads you into there, and there's a guy sitting in there. Um, kind of looking over a ledger, and says, "Boss, these guys want to talk about the Ardocs." And he says, like, "Oh, okay, very good, Marin." And then Marin kind of like walks away, and so this guy kind of looks up and says, "So what's your interest in the Ardocs?"
I introduce myself as Brugar Stonehearth, and I gesture towards Alias and the others.
Nah, Tiki just waves. She doesn't say anything. She's really confused today.
Shit, I just had his name, and now I gotta find it again. I was literally just looking at it. There it is. So yeah, he introduced himself as Hallman Wright, which the name you already recognize because you just heard it from in the bar. He says, "I'm kind of the unofficial leader of the freemen here, going way back to the first of us that escaped and managed to. We've managed to free many more of us and have grown since then. Not everyone that we free joins us, but many do. Many that we free do join us, and that tends to be how most of our ranks come from."
Mm-hmm. I like the looks of the academy here.
Thanks. This academy is crucial to our continued survival. We
I
usually
asked
offer
him if he has
training
any openings as a teacher.
as a teacher. We'd probably could use more experienced teachers.
Alright, I'll get back to you on that.
Nods. Uh, Most of the time, we usually try to offer anyone that we rescue training here, whether or not they'd want to join the Freemen, just because we believe having people having an ability to defend themselves will prevent them from being brought back into slavery. It's not foolproof, obviously, because oftentimes one can be captured and enslaved while in a war or whatnot, but we do find that it does that it is definitely beneficial and usually helps out people even if they don't stay with us, even if they move on and try to create a new life for themselves or return back to an old life they had before.
Of course, better to go down fighting like a tiger than to live your life like a pussy.
Indeed. Uh, that isn't the exact wording of our creed, but it is along the same lines.
Is he blushing?
No.
Such vulgar
Um,
language.
no, he's fine with it. He doesn't seem bothered by it at all. Um, but yeah, you said you were interested in the Ardocs. I'm assuming you're interested in a specific Ardoc, though. Am I correct?
Yes, Akai.
Yes, Sakai. Most of the Ardocs don't purchase slaves. They, as you may know, have no reason to. Uh, we don't generally have good relations with, but normally, until just a few months ago, we've had basically no dealings with them at all. They kind of just ignored us. I mean, if anything, the Ardocs stand to gain were the slave trade outlawed within Kaer Maga somehow. Simply because it would lead more people would be willing to buy their constructs
Follow.
in order to uh, do labor tax and whatnot. So the fact that they're buying slaves, and especially that they're buying specific slaves seems very, very strange and very worrying. Especially considering that we don't know where he takes these slaves. I'm afraid I don't really have a whole lot of information I can give you if that's what you're looking for. You see that a number of you here are Shawanti yourself, so I can understand why this would be a priority to you.
We did hear though that you were that there were some raids that did or didn't happen. That maybe we could plan or not plan one of these raids that may or may not happen.
He chuckles and says, "Yes, we unofficially do sometimes conduct raids to rescue slaves, but we haven't conducted any such raids within BIS because, as I said, we don't know where. We wouldn't even know where to attack.
I
It's
asked him, how
possible
do
that
you? Oh, sorry.
I'll say it's possible that they're kept within the kiln, which is the headquarters of the Ardocs, but obviously it's very difficult to know that for certain. The kiln is very, very well protected. The Ardoc family are a family of wizards and have many defenses.
Well, I asked him how do you gather information before these raids? Looks like personally, how do you do it?
Well, depending on what it is, we can sometimes send people in to investigate it, sometimes undercover like. And other times we just go to information brokers within the hospice center, such as the Tallow Boys. They're a strange lot, but they do serve a valuable purpose if you want information. Um, that's usually fairly expensive, and they can be dangerous in their own way to deal with.
Hmm. Well, I look at the others and I say maybe this is something we'd want to look into, since I don't know if any of us have those kinds of sneaky information gathering skills.
Sneaky, no. Information gathering. I'm more of a researcher myself.
But I will tell you this much: if you do find information about where he's keeping these, we would be willing to help you rescue them. This is something that is very relevant to our cause.
I'm glad to have your blessing. Well, looks like we're gonna have to look at our options of information gathering, see how much it's gonna cost us, and then get that money.
He nods. Again, if you do try to deal with information brokers, they can be very expensive. Um, and also, you'll want to be careful about if you try to go into BIS, if they happen to know anything about what your plans are. I don't know how much they might know, how much of a name you've made for yourself at this point. If you've been seen a lot down here, they may be very suspicious and restrictive of your movement down there over in BIS from the moment you first show up there. It's tough to say. I know if I entered
hmm
there, they probably wouldn't. They probably would kick me out right away. Unless I was, perhaps if I was well disguised, they wouldn't.
Right. Well, we kind of know who. We sort of know like one thing that we can use to get information. Does anybody else have any questions they want to ask or?
No. I'm trying to figure out how to get information from an information broker without paying and without also getting in trouble.
You could do that. Uh, there are ways.
So it's probably kind of late now.
Like in-game time, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's probably like still there's still probably daylight, but it's probably like getting later in the day.
So I
Like
suggest perhaps we should head back to the inn and discuss our next move there.
All right.
So yeah, thanks for your help, guy. I forget his name. Holman.
yeah, it was Hallman, I believe. Was that his last name?
Holman, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Holman.
Hallman, right?
So thanks, and yeah, if we find out anything else about the where the slaves are at, we'll let you know.
He
Yep, I'll take him.
nods and it says,
Howman W, right?
I believe that's how you spell it.
Yeah, that's the
Let me double check.
common version. I guess you can really do it anyway, but that's common. Approve.
Oh, it's fine. I had
Yep, that's how you spell it.
that's what I had
I'm
written
like,
down.
I need to actually write it in chat so I remember. Oh, Holman.
I didn't realize it was like Hallman.
Yeah, Hallman, right? Okay. So yeah, he says, if I'm not here, you should be able to relay a message to him that will get to me.
It's kind of funny how
Black.
Holman right sounds like almonds right. Anyways, definitely not planned.
It might be. I don't know. That's. It's very likely it was. Yeah. Anyway, he tells you if you can't find him, you should be able to relay a message. Black Marn's usually training new recruits here at the academy, and can relay messages to him if he's not here for some
Okay.
reason.
All right, so I guess we go back to the Canary, back to our
To
room,
the Canary. Yep.
and I say, okay, so these Tallow boys were a weird one, right? That's what he said, that it was kind of dangerous getting information from them, and it was very expensive, but very good. Do we know who these Tallow boys are?
I believe you guys knew a little bit about them, or somebody knew about them a little bit, like in a previous session, probably over a month ago. But yeah, the Towel Boys are basically like
Wait, did you say Towel Boys?
Tallow Boys. I'll put in
Yeah, Tallow.
the Tallow Boys.
Tallow.
I like mine more.
Well, you might be on the right train of thought, I guess. For
Oh, do they hang out in like a steam room or something?
they're basically young male prostitutes.
Ah,
Okay, I like these guys. Let's go see them.
In fact, actually, if I remember right, Philippe actually would already have met one potentially
no,
because
jeez.
if you remember right,
Was that
he
the guy?
maybe it might have been a Tallow Boy.
Wait, how
Because
many
yeah, you
are
wouldn't.
there?
It's no, there's no like set number on how many there are that you've been told or that you know, but so I don't know
It's
if
like
you
a
guys
secret
like
service that they provide.
it's yeah, it's like a and not a like it's one of those things where not all the not all the male prostitutes in hospice district are tallow boys, I
Yep.
guess, but yeah, but some
But
of them
all
are
people who are tallow boys are male prostitutes.
something like that. That's maybe
I
not even
think.
necessarily true. That might just be a rumor or speculation.
Okay, well, I'm like, okay, I think we should
But that's the
go talk to
reputation
them.
at
I may have.
least. The speculation is that uh, yeah, that's what the Tallow Boys are.
Wait, how expensive was it before? I don't think I ever subtracted gold off my character sheet. Are they fairly cheap?
Uh, I don't know that actually.
Come on,
I wouldn't
Pluto.
expect them to be, if they're in like this nice district,
No,
the
they're probably
hospice.
they're probably fairly expensive normally, but I don't even know if actually was it. Did you actually do that, or was it just some dude you met or something? I don't even remember. It was too long
I
ago.
thought it was a guy. I thought it was a prostitute person.
Okay. I don't know. Then they
I
probably
thought it
would have
was.
been. They probably would have been fairly expensive, but I don't know if you. I just assumed you. I assumed we went over it, but I'd have to go back and like watch the video
Yeah.
to know for sure.
The video. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's that.
Yeah, the video I took that night
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
to
I
know how
say, I
expensive
guess,
it was.
Philippe, you're probably the one to go and speak to the Taulo boys.
Yeah, I may have a connection or two.
As for the other sources, maybe the rest of us can look into those.
Very well.
I asked Tiki, hey,
Perhaps I
you
should
don't
go
get like
tonight.
weird visions, do you?
Um,
You said you have your powers, right?
well, I mean, yes, I have powers. I don't know about visions though, but
What what do I know about Tiki's like powers? All I know is that her purpose is to like help some dead god, right?
you might have heard like through conversations that obviously she can't see very far, but yet she helped you guys
Mm-hmm.
navigate to Karamaga in the evenings by looking at the stars. In the evening, she's often looking at the stars, and
Hmm.
they were also talking about the statue and how that she could see it and how it was made up of stars. So you might have heard
Mm-hmm.
things like
Yeah.
that. She doesn't really talk
Yeah,
about
ask her
it
if she
though.
ever gets any weird visions, like seeing into the future or things like that.
No, I know. Nothing like that.
Hmm. All right. I'm not sure what kind of mystic you are.
She like examines
Sometimes
herself. She's like, what?
sometimes we have clerics back at in the Five Kings Mountains. They probe the future.
Oh, I didn't choose
But then again,
this.
they pray to a god.
It fell upon me.
Yep, I have no idea what afflicts you, Tiki.
Me neither.
But at least it didn't make you unable to drink. Sight is secondary to that.
she smiles and laughs.
So you guys heading back to the Canary House? Yeah. What do you guys do when you get to the Canary House? Just eat and whatnot? Do you guys... Philippe goes and tries to
Eat and such.
find...
We talk more about what we were discussing, and I guess I ask Alias, what do you think what do you think we should do? What's our modus operandi for gathering information while Philippe does his version of it?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure Kai has contacts around the abyss and knows for sure who I am.
Well, I mean, he probably knows who I am. I'm kind of a big deal around the bottom, and you are
Philippe's
too now.
gonna be a big deal around the bottom.
Oh, man.
I guess so.
Sorry, couldn't help it.
That was a good joke.
So yeah, Philippe, if you want to do a gather information diplomacy check for like trying to basically contact the Tallow Boys.
Yeah, and sorry, I didn't see you typed a thing because
No, okay.
I was
Yeah, I was doing that while other
like
people were talking, so I was like hoping you could get that in while that was happening, but oh, that's fine. We'll just wait.
Apparently, I don't have a thing. I didn't have a macro for diplomacy. Not very good. 15.
Okay, but it is. You do eventually like one of them. Basically, like you, you maybe like mention that you're looking for the information brokers known as the Tallow Boys to like somebody, and he's like, oh, it's like, well, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
All right, we in business.
So then he kind of just like shuffles off basically after that, and that's pretty much all you get out of it. He doesn't even like he doesn't even like ask for your name or anything. He's just like, oh, okay.
Interesting.
hmm But that's all you get. Like you maybe ask a few other people, and like everyone kind of like shakes their head and like I don't know what you're talking about, or like maybe you're using sense motive. Perhaps you know that some people do know what you're talking about, or but are refusing to say anything about it. Um, but yeah, you do have, like I said, you do have the one guy who says he knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, and then ran off. And I'll say that that's maybe like a half hour, 45 minutes or so of you just like walking around, basically trying to get information about where to find them.
So wait, I can't just like go back to the same like prostitute house and ask one of the guys there?
That's one of the places you ask, and yeah, nobody's. That's basically where you're asking. I'll say, but yeah, there's nobody there,
Okay.
including maybe even you see the guy that you were with before, but he doesn't tell you anything. Like he just like shakes his head, like I don't know what you're talking about. But you do find the one guy who says, "I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy," and says he'll see what you can do.
So what am I supposed to do? Wait for him to come back and find me, or I guess I don't understand. But
Yeah,
supposed to, like,
I don't know.
okay,
Good question.
Well, in the meantime, I will hang out at the male prostitute place.
You'll just hang out there. Okay.
Well, not hang out, but I will be uh, thinking about a selection
Okay.
and, judging. And I will
Those
make sure as I walk around or sit down or anything, I jingle my gold pouch nice and loud.
Those of you that are at the Canary House may have noticed at this point that Amber has still not shown up from the Thoracic Spire, even though the sun is already set. That's all there about that.
No one cares.
Uh,
We probably all assume she's still reading.
She might be still studying, in fact. But yeah, she's not back at the Canary House yet. And yeah. Other than that, nothing else is going to happen today, really.
So
So if you
food
guys want to
and
just skip over
sleep.
yeah, pretty much that. Unless if you guys are good with that, we can just skip over the next day now.
Oh, I'd hate to skip too fast.
Yeah, do you spend all
Yeah.
night over there, or do you eventually wander back to the Canary House?
Well,
Maybe
no, I would be spending
with like
time
somebody in
there.
tow.
Yeah, so I'm spending time there, just like kind of seeing what's available, and then also waiting to see if like the guy asked who says he knows a guy ever comes back. If he doesn't, then after like an hour maybe, I would make my selection and go back to the Canary House.
Okay. And you have like your own room anyway, as if I remember right. You're like
Yep.
you got a room to yourself.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys got like another room on top of what you had before, just because you have
Tiki
like
and
3
Amber
extra people
has
now, or
one together.
yeah,
So if Amber's not there in the morning, perhaps she'll notice. We'll see.
yeah.
Well, that's a good point though, because of the Shwanti. Where are they sleeping?
You just have like 5 people crammed into Brugar and Alios's room, because I think they were sharing a room before,
Yeah.
and just like have like 3 Shawandi
My
people just like
God.
sleeping on the floor there. I like it. All right, that's fair enough.
Well, I
So
have
it's
my
like kind
room
of
key, so they're not getting in my room.
yeah, yeah, and yeah. The next morning, Tiki notices that Amber is like her bed's still like made and everything, and Amber's not there.
I'll bring that up when I see everybody in the morning.
Okay, yeah, like eventually probably everyone gets back down for breakfast and whatnot.
Just real quick, how expensive are they?
Uh, probably like several gold pieces.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
I mean, several gold
I mean,
pieces
it's a
is
lot.
pretty.
It's a lot, but not to me. It's not a lot.
Probably like 10 gold pieces or so.
Okay.
There's probably like some that are really expensive too, though, maybe. But like there's like probably like 1 or 2 people that are like, I'm 100 gold pieces or whatnot. But like very, I don't know, exotic people, I guess, or whatnot. They're like more
No,
in
no,
high
I'm not
demand.
into the exotic ones.
But like there might be like an
So,
Asmer or something there that charges like 100 gold pieces or something. But
geez, freaking, that's what I should have done. My first character, my
yeah,
Aasimar Paladin. Anywho. Okay, so Philippe
but yeah,
shows up a little bit late. You see another guy leaving around the same time, who's gorgeous, by the
okay,
way. Um,
I'm sure.
and I'm
And
ordering breakfast.
yep. And then maybe Tiki then brings that up, but if she even if she doesn't bring it up, you probably notice that like everyone else kind of is showing up, but you don't see Amber.
Oh, she'll definitely bring it up.
Perhaps I should, or we should check on her at the library. It's
I'm
not
back. Did I miss anything?
unlike.
The only thing you
We
missed
would.
is that Amber is not here. It's the next day now, though.
Oh, right. She has been here for a while. Huh.
Yeah, so perhaps we should go to the library or one of us should, and check on her. I know when you get into your
Need
research,
to
there are
stretch my
some
legs.
sleepless nights.
She didn't
Let's
sleep
all go
in
and
her
get her.
bed.
She was probably sleeping with her nose in a book.
You can sleep like that?
Not comfortably.
Oh. You people are weird.
All right.
Alright, so let's go and get Amber.
Yeah.
Okay. I finished my breakfast hastily and yeah. To the
Okay.
library.
Okay. It is raining today, but not very heavily. And just as a side note, and when you get to the end of the library, you see there's like no one at the desk at the time when you first enter. Of course, if you remember, there's like a
Mhm.
little bell you can ring.
Oh, well, we'll only be a minute, and they already have my blood, so they probably won't mind if I go in, right? Does
They
Philippe
have
think
your
that they would
blood?
mind if he went in? Could I do like a
Uh,
wisdom check or something? No, not anything but wisdom. Not wisdom.
I don't know. I'll leave that up to you.
Uh,
Philippe's not exactly sure how this library functions. If like you know that they've mentioned that there's all sorts of wards and whatnot to stop people from like stealing, but you're not sure about the specifics of them.
alright, I'll just try and walk in.
Okay.
If no one's
And
there and no one says anything.
yeah, no one. You walk in and like somebody kind of like looks up and sees you, but then looks back down because it's like someone you recognize. It's like one of the monks you've seen before, and he recognizes you. So
Okay, I wave when he looks up at me. It's like a
okay, he kind of
subtle
just
greeting.
yeah, he kind of just ignores you for the most part. But
Oh, rude.
yeah, the thoracic monks are not very nice people generally. They're kind of jerks.
Okay, well, I go up to the 6th floor where Amber was and see if
Okay,
she's there.
and uh, you don't see her.
No sign of her.
No immediate, like no
I
obvious
look
sign of
for
her at least.
clues with my perceptive eyes.
Okay.
I, god damn, 2 and 5. Well,
You
2 get a
see like
27.
a table that looks like it still has some like books out, and like you can't really read them, but um, you think that they like look like they maybe are related to like maybe that was what Amber was studying, and maybe those were books that Amber was reading, but you're not really sure. Yeah, I know Amber's conveniently missing. I know it's because I don't want to. It's because I don't want to PC other people's characters. Well, not
Okay.
entirely that. It's actually related to Amber's backstory, but we'll get into that at some point. You guys might
I
actually be able to
will.
figure this out like really fast. I don't know. There's you can't. It's one of those things you actually can solve, but I don't know. We'll see if you guys do.
I will look throughout the rest of the library as fast as I can, just seeing if I see her anywhere.
Okay, like you're looking through. You're just kind of walking through all six of the like floors that you can actually
Yeah,
reach.
like fast walking. It's like
Hmm.
looking down an aisle, seeing if she's there, looking down the next aisle, so it hopefully shouldn't take too long to do it all.
Okay. Yeah, and you don't see her anywhere.
Okay, so I get back down to the bottom, and I walk out to the party where they're in the lobby or outside or whatever, and I'm like, I don't see her. She's not here. Some of her books were out, but she definitely was not around. Here's it all.
So what are you guys gonna do now?
I'll go ask one of the monk guy who kind of recognized me, or if
Okay.
there's a monk like at the desk now.
There isn't one there yet, but like I said, there is a little bell you can ring. Like you guys, the first time you guys came, you actually had to ring it, and one came out, if you remember right.
Yep. I'll ring the bell because I don't want to
Okay.
disturb the monk doing research or whatever.
Okay, one actually is the same one that saw you before. He comes out and asks how you can
Convenient.
help you. Are these guys? Are these people entering as well?
No,
Is that
no.
why I'm here?
We're just here looking for the last member of our party, Amber. Perhaps you remember her. Glasses, kind of. Mm, I don't actually know
Oh,
what Amber
her.
looks like, but glasses.
Yeah, I think she actually kind of looks sort of like the token, I guess. I think she has like red hair. She's like middle-aged, I think.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just like, have you seen her? I couldn't see her in the library, and she didn't come back home last night.
Well, yes, she left last night, but she lives with another person,
Oh,
an older gentleman
Oh.
wearing a ridiculous hat,
do you
long
know who he
beard.
was?
No idea. I mean,
Ridiculous hat, long beard. Okay. Sounds like
he, I
a
mean,
demon in
he did
disguise.
have a name he entered for us in the ledger.
Oh, and what is that?
Oh, you have his blood too. You could follow him. I mean, Tiki don't know that, but
His name was. He wrote down. He like opens up his ledger and like kind of looks at it. It looks like he wrote Delpho as his name.
How do you spell that?
Delfo.
Delpho, I love it.
Okay. So it's not an anagram for Declausar.
Is he an
Give me one
oracle?
second, actually. Give me
Is he a
1 second.
Delphic oracle?
No. Give, give me 1 second. I gotta go move my laundry over, but I'll be right
The
back.
oracles at Delpho. Oh, Mantis's character has conveniently gone missing.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I just realized I'd like forgotten to move my laundry into the dryer for like 2 hours. I was like, I need to do that like right now. I'm gonna forget.
Yep, no problem.
But yeah, he says he was he was a tall guy with a really long beard and a ridiculous looking hat named Delpho. He just walked into the library and came back out with Amber, uh, your friend, a few maybe 10 minutes later. I was sitting here last night when it was happening. Didn't really think much of it, but it's not someone you know, I take it.
No.
He's not a regular here himself.
No, not that I've recognized at least. I just assumed he was one of your party.
Amber doesn't have any friends here that I
Well,
know of.
we don't. I mean, I don't know Amber that well.
She never mentioned any friends here, and you'd think, if you're going somewhere for days traveling, you would mention if you knew someone in the city.
But she walked
Though
willingly with this person?
perhaps not after all. I think
Yeah, I mean,
getting back to Kaer or
as
to
far as I could
Ponderosa,
tell, they were.
Well, knowing Amber, he had to have said something interesting.
get in my van, I have a book.
Yeah.
Well, who would know who Delpho is? It sounds like a made-up name to me anyways.
We did take a blood sample of his, but unlike you and your friend, he got his back as he left.
So Amber got hers back too?
No, we still have hers.
Perhaps you could use a spell to help us locate
So
her.
why would he pick up his blood sample, but Amber wouldn't pick up hers? When
If she
leaving?
wanted to come
I don't
back.
know.
Who was
That's why I
working
didn't
here
pick
at
up
that
mine.
hour? I don't know. These are things
I mean,
Tiki
that's-
wouldn't know.
I
Could
guess
we
I'm
use
assuming
Amber's
Delphi
blood sample?
just didn't. Well, no, we don't really give that away. That's just so we can track people if they steal books.
Could you track Amber? Did she steal any books? Have you checked?
Yeah, of course we do. We have a very extensive catalog and many, many ways of determining whether or not books are missing or not.
Well,
If
we
there were a
have
book missing, we would know.
Amber's blood.
So all we need to do, not talking to the NPC, talking to myself, and you guys out of character, all we need to do is make him think that Amber stole a book, and then they'll track Amber down for us.
Well, it's possible that if Amber thought she was in danger in any way, that maybe she took a book with her.
Well, they said no
Leaving
books
her
were missing.
blood.
That's why we'd have to
Oh.
fake it. But she's gone,
Oh,
so
well, let's not lie.
I don't
to
think
people.
they'll believe she took it at this point. Comes back. In which case we wouldn't need to locate her in the first place.
Hmm.
Very well, I say to the monk. It's none of your concern where Amber went. It's not like she stole a book from you that you didn't realize. And I give him a wink and walk away.
He kind of rolls his eyes.
Yep, that's pretty much the reaction I was expecting. So I walk out of the library. I assume you guys follow, otherwise I look silly. But I don't know. I
Kind
don't know
of
what to do.
think about it for a second. I kind of think aloud by him. I think aloud
Okay.
next to the monk, and I say, "Well, it's a shame that you can't locate her for us. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would like to find some people that way. They probably pay a bit too, but you guys probably aren't interested in taking bribes."
Not monetary bribes at the very least. But the Thoracic Spire is always looking for new knowledge. No, not sexual bribes.
Sorry. You got that in my head now. You had to make it the prostitutes, man. You know that's my weakness.
Oh, yeah? Well, for what it's worth, I'm using a framework established by a Paizo writer to build this story around, so a lot of this stuff is actually stuff you could find out by just, like, reading through a bunch of Paizo materials, basically.
Hmm. No one happens
Like,
to
there's
have
a-
any knowledge lying around, do they?
There's... Like, are you just, like, musing this aloud next to him still?
Yeah.
He's like, well, there's all sorts of books, maybe old books that may be found below Kaer Maga, perhaps. Ancient libraries, things of that nature. We have a very extensive
Hmm.
library, but there's always more books to add to our collection.
Mm-hmm. Well, I look at the others and I say, I got nothing. But if anybody has some knowledge, then maybe they'll want it. Or some book.
I mean, I don't have anything. I already gave the only knowledge I have had to the library.
So what do you guys do? What do you guys know about Amber's backstory? Out of curiosity.
I don't know really much about her at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with nothing whatsoever.
Okay.
I mean that like before like doll making,
Yeah.
I don't think I know anything.
She
You
makes
guys just know that
dolls?
she's a doll maker and she has a shop in Magnamar.
Wait, I
How did a
mean I
doll
know that
maker?
she said I think she said that she I don't know if she said this, Amber said this, or if Mantis said this, but that Amber used to be a powerful wizard and then like lost all her memories
I think
and
that's
then
probably
was like a
something
sorceress.
that would have been something Mantis would have said because Amber obviously wouldn't know. Probably if Amber
Right.
was a powerful wizard at some point, Amber wouldn't know that. But
Okay, so yeah, I know nothing then. Philippe knows
okay,
nothing.
I'm just not. I wasn't sure if like Amber ever like discussed her basically, like before meeting all you guys about her past. So because yeah, this is
Maybe early
basically
on, I just don't remember.
yeah, some of this stuff is related basically to that. So there is a little bit like it's kind of it's a bit of a stretch, but there are some clues about it that have been kind of thrown in, but I'd be very surprised if you guys make the connection. So, but you might I mean, there's you might find more information. Some of this stuff connects to each other. So,
I got nothing right now.
okay. So, what you guys doing now then?
Well, I mean, Amber missing can kind of be concerning, but do we pursue this or do we try and still gather information about the dude?
Amber's a adult and doesn't sound like she was taken by force, so I think she can take care of herself.
All right.
So I'm gonna pull Amber's token off here to the edge of the map because you guys don't know where she's at. She's missing.
Yep.
Dun dun dun.
I mean, I know where she's at, but I know exactly where she's at.
I would hope so.
I'm sure.
Next week he's gonna be what page was that on? Fuck. Where's she at?
Is he gonna be back next week? Or you mean I'm gonna do that?
You're gonna
Next
do
week I'm gonna
that?
be like, what
You're
page
gonna
is
do
that
that.
on? Yeah. I'm totally gonna be doing that. What was the name of that guy that she walked out with again? I know I wrote it in here in like gigantic letters and underlined it several
Elfo.
times.
So we try and can I try finding Towel Boys again?
The Tallow Boys?
towel boy.
It'd like go down there right in the middle of the day and just start asking. I mean, if you want to do that, you can. You can do whatever you want.
I don't know. Maybe that's a bad idea. So just to be clear, if I asked the guy last night, because I would have, he wouldn't tell me anything, even after I
Oh,
like paid him.
yeah, he wouldn't tell you anything. You probably would know, like you have really good sense motive, right? So I would just assume you probably
Yeah.
would know that he kind of probably does know something. Like he seems to get kind of like a little nervous about it when you mention it, but
Okay,
he's
my
not.
plan is
He's
to get the same guy tonight, and then ask him
oh,
again.
okay.
But this time pay him more.
Oh, like give him like a huge tip or something, basically, like
Yeah, I mean,
monetary.
I'll definitely give him more than a tip.
Okay.
Sorry, it's
That's
too
why I
easy.
specified. I know. That's why I tried to say monetary. I was trying to be specific in that sense, but it obviously didn't matter.
No, it did not at all. Anywho, so that's my plan for tonight. So today I'm just gonna be doing whatever you guys think we should do. Follow up on other leads.
Yeah, because it's
Only
still
other
like
way is
really
if we
early in the
like.
day. You guys have like a whole day here. You can do stuff. I mean, you don't even necessarily have to focus on that. You could just try to find something else to do too.
I want to make money.
Um, it did we look for other toy shops in the region or in the city?
Oh, like other doll
We look
makers,
for
maybe?
any toy shops. So yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
because Amber sold to like other cities.
That's an interesting idea.
Okay. While we're walking around, probably go to the down market and see if there's any other toy makers, doll makers.
Let's see. You would also know.
I'm also keeping an eye out for anyone that matches Delpho's description with
Yeah,
my keen
you're
eye.
looking for a really tall guy with a ridiculous hat and a long beard. Basically, like the most stereotypical wizard type guy you can think of. Like think Gandalf.
Huh.
So you're using gather information to see if you can find someone that matches Delpho's description.
No, that was a perception.
Oh, that was perception. Just like looking for someone. Okay, you're
So
just like
as we're going
as you're walking
the
around
market,
in like down market and whatnot. What's the other place? There's another
yeah, I
place that would
haven't
be
asked
a
anyone about it yet.
yeah. Like you guys are kind of you probably maybe start there in down market because that's like where a lot of the marketplaces are, right? But you're not really finding much luck in terms of like finding something like a doll maker there. But you do maybe find out the place. Let's see, where would that be at? They mentioned that the Tar Heel Promenade, which I believe you've already been to that district because it's also the district has several different temples as well, but also that there is a like there's specifically like a few different shops there that be like match your what you're looking for more. Um,
Sorry, what district? The Promenade Nod?
the Tar Heel Promenade. That's where what you're looking for. That's where like there's a lot of stores there, but the ones there like in the down market has a lot more of like stalls and temporary shops that are set up from like people that come outside of Kaer Maga and set up shop there to
It's a
sell. Like
marketplace,
it's
not a like.
yes, not like a storefront basically. Like
Yep.
um
Okay. So let's go to Promenade.
but yeah, they do say there's like a a couple shops there that you might want to check out. They tell you there is like a toy shop specifically that's down there, and they also say maybe check out Gadka's Magical Oddities.
Okay. And I ask like where they're at, general locations, so we can find them.
Okay. Gadka's Magical Oddities is at the corner of Fever Street and Half a Chicken Walk. And Half a Chicken Walk is the name of a street.
Okay.
And
Chicken walk.
yeah, and then the Toy Street is actually nearby it, and it's actually on Fever Street.
Okay, so we go there.
Okay.
What did we do with the 3 Shawanti? Are they back at the Canary?
They're just following us around.
Yeah, I think they're just following you guys around. You guys are just like this large group. Like you guys are like a 7-person party right now, just like wandering around Kaer Maga.
I start
It's not
telling
that I
all
don't
sorts
trust
of
them to be on
stories
their own.
of the five kingdoms mountain. I tell them a bit about my past training at the academy and how I'm a mercenary now, and I inquire if they will allow me to their lives.
Okay, and they probably tell you about uh, their lives as nomads on the Storval Plateau. That they don't have any specific like cities or anything that they do, and they tend to travel around with their herds of livestock, and that it's like a rough life with a lot of conflict, but that it makes their people stronger. Um, they maybe would mention that they haven't been to the Five Kings Mountains, but they have like the older ones both say they've like maybe they say they've been to the Yanderhof, the Sky Citadel Yanderhof.
Mm-hmm. Well, I make small talk with them.
Okay.
I ask them about how they fight and stuff, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
all in the background.
Yeah, they have like, profession fighter or whatever discussion with you.
Yeah, knowledge fight.
That's what it was, knowledge fighter. So let's see, I'm just gonna say that it's like over here. And like over here or something. But let's see, what would the name of the Yeah, so you find the toy shop. Perhaps if you find that first, and it's this little toy shop named the Brass Bear. And it's got like kind of a little sign that it's like shaped like a teddy bear basically, but it's made out of brass. So it's not a very creative name for it, but that's like the toy shop. And then you can kind of see down further the street, there's kind of this ridiculous looking tarp covered cart at the corner of the street. and you can only assume. I'll say from your GAD information check, it was described to you as well that this is Gadka's Magical Oddities, which is a local magic shop that, like, you maybe are specifically asking about like doll makers and like, oh yeah, that guy has some like weird dolls that he claims are enchanted.
We never did a
Creepy.
gather information for the record.
Oh, you didn't? Oh yeah, because I was taking that description thing there as a gather information,
So
I guess.
I will.
Okay.
Uh,
But yeah, you kind of this is like kind of you get pointed out to this direction over in the Tar Heel Promenade when you guys are in the down market, and you're able to find it pretty easily. That's good enough. Yeah. You guys want to go to any particular one of these first?
eeny, meeny, miny, brass bear.
Okay. So the Brass Bear is kind of this cluttered toy shop, and sure enough, there's a lot of dolls and various like toys,
Seems like the kind of place Amber would like.
like stuffed animals, things like that. It's an actual building, but it's like kind of a smaller, like a small building, you know, and it's very very cramped and cluttered. But yeah, lots of different toys and such there. There's like a little bell that rings when you enter, and probably the fact there's like 7 of you trying to walk into here makes it feel even more cramped. There's no one else in there except for like one person kind of behind the counter who like looks up when you enter. And so she kind of just watches you guys as you enter and doesn't say anything right away.
I just imagine what this looks like a party of like adventurers with weapons walking into like a toy shop.
Yeah, and armor and shit. Like these, and they're walking in like these.
I
big,
don't.
Shawazi.
Wait, does Brugar stay outside then?
Well, no, I'm just saying that like I'm not in my armor and weapons right now.
Oh, okay. Like you have that stuff in
left
your
that at
pack right
the-
now. Or at
Well, I left that at
your...
the room.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Have you
I
guys
wear-
been walking around with your weapons?
I wear a mithril
Probably
suit
not out,
under
but
my actual shirt, so it's like hard to necessarily
okay.
tell. Like you could hear it if you really paid attention, but it's mithril, so it's pretty light and pretty
Right.
quiet. And then my weapon is always at my side, so it's like
I think all 3 of the Shawanti would be like wearing their leather armor, but they wouldn't have their weapons like out and like drawn, but they'd have them with them. Which is honestly not that uncommon because it's a very, like I said, there's no actual like guards in this city. There's no government in this city. It's all very like there's people that are like running, that are like kind of in charge of certain districts, and that's just because they have the most like power and influence in the district kind of thing. Like it's not really official in any official capacity. So like one of those things where like you see a lot of people walking around Kaer Maga that are armed. Like people being armed isn't really that uncommon in Kaer Maga. But yeah, the image though of you guys walking into a toy shop with like these big burly dudes with like arms and shit, like hanging on their sides and whatnot is kind of funny.
yeah.
And then a little frog person.
I'd like to think I look maybe
There's
a
probably,
little bit more sophisticated.
Yeah, there's probably like toys there, like rocking horses and stuff that are like bigger than Tiki is.
That's kind of funny. I hope Tiki gets on like
Maybe
the
like
rocking
a-
horse.
Maybe like one of those, like a giant stuffed bear that's like 3 feet tall, taller than Tiki.
Wow.
But you know, most of them are more. Those are just a couple of like the more elaborate, gigantic toys there that are probably pretty expensive. But yeah, do you guys do anything when you enter? You just kind of get in there and like kind of look around. You see like this kind of older looking woman kind of sitting behind the desk, eyeing you guys as you walk in. She doesn't say anything right away. She maybe looks, maybe possibly a little bit older than Amber, but like her hair is starting to turn gray a little bit, but yeah, roughly around the same age.
Okay, so definitely not Elfo.
Yeah, he's not. It's not Delpho. That's for sure,
Um,
or at least it doesn't meet the description of Delpho.
I will use my most charming and charismatic voice and try and find out, greet and say like, hey, what's up, blah blah blah, looking for a friend. We we know she's a toy maker, and we saw her walking with. And I give the Delpho's description and say, you wouldn't happen to know anyone like that, would you?
She thinks for a while and says, "No, I don't think so."
Wait, can I roll a charisma something or
Sure.
diplomacy?
Yeah, go for it. Roll diplomacy.
Okay. I hate that you said no before I even rolled, but hey, that natural 20. Uh,
Yeah, she doesn't know. She's
dang.
like, maybe you could, like, did you describe her? Do you describe Amber to her then, or do you describe Delpho?
Yeah, I'll
How
describe
exactly do you?
Amber
Okay.
and Delpho and say, we
Okay.
saw her with him looking for her. She didn't come back last night. We know she's a toy
Did you
maker,
mention
and
what else? You said she's a toy maker. Okay.
that's the connection. Otherwise, she'd be like, why are you asking me or
Yeah,
telling me
yeah.
like what? Yeah, yeah.
Like a toy maker here in Kaer Maga. I do know most of the toy makers
No,
here.
actually,
Most of.
we're from out of town. We just came in.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Well, I don't know
that's why you
anyone.
don't know her.
That might probably be why I don't know her then. We do get toys sometimes imported from out of town, but I don't generally know them, people from out of town, the out of town toy makers very well.
I see. Okay, well, thanks for your time. And while no, mm, I'm not gonna go there. Never mind.
Okay, I won't
Don't worry
ask then.
about it. You don't want to
I
ask.
won't. I won't.
So, yeah, thanks for time. And I don't know, are we just gonna leave? Does anyone want to buy something?
You could do a
Nah.
perception to look around.
Sure. I love looking around.
Okay. Uh, you do actually see that there is a doll though that does look very similar to one you maybe seen in Amber's shop back in Magnamar.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking of looking for that, but I kind of thought, what am I gonna gain by that? But
Good question.
I will say, as I'm turning to leave, I'm like, oh, this toy that this is familiar. Our friend, I think, my friend Amber made this.
She kind of like looks up at it and says, "Possible. We imported that from Magnamar."
Oh, that's where her shop's at. Cool.
Can we
Well, I
use
hope you
that doll
find your
to
friend.
locate her?
How much for it?
Uh, it's like I think it's 15 copper pieces. It's really cheap.
Okay, I'll buy it.
I'll say I'll 50. Actually, yeah, I think that'll be right. It's one and a half silver pieces or 15 copper
Okay, I'll
pieces.
give 2 silver pieces and say, keep the change for your time.
I don't know.
Thanks.
Maybe I'm making that too cheap for Amber's dolls. I don't know, but we'll
That
just
one's
say
been
I think copper is
around.
appropriate.
It's used.
yeah. It's a. I mean, it's a toy, so it's like not going to be.
It's
For
imported.
normal people, like that's
Yeah,
like the price.
that's a pretty high, probably pretty high quality, like for something you'd buy
Because
for a kid,
you could
right?
get
For
like
like a little
a
doll,
nice dinner for
right?
1.5 silver.
Right. I think that's pretty appropriate. So yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I buy it. Just
Buy it. So
because
you have a doll that Amber made.
you know, I don't know if this world has things like this, but in most fantasy worlds, if you want to locate someone with a locator spell, you need something that once belonged to them. So that's why I bought it. But maybe I'm completely wrong, and that's not how any
Well,
location spells work in Pathfinder.
we can pay for scrying spells without even having anything of her, just because we know her and seen her.
Oh, well, I have a doll anyways. I'm supporting her business.
Yeah, it's a matter of finding the person to do it
Well,
and the price of what.
the thing is, though, is if you have someone else cast it, it's a little bit harder when
If they don't know the person.
because they have secondhand knowledge basically, which gives them uh, like it's not as hard as doing something to find information where they don't know anything about them, but it is still harder than if it's
Right.
someone that actually knows them casting it. But yeah, there's basically a bunch of modifiers if you have, depending on what you have. There's a whole table basically. But yeah, scrying that is a thing. That is a thing you could theoretically could do.
Not anything
Yeah.
Tiki knows about, but yeah.
Yeah. But Philippe maybe is thinking along those lines, and that's why he's like, I'm gonna buy this
Yep.
doll that you made.
We could give it a scry.
Okay, you guys go check out the other place as well, the Gadka's Magical Oddities.
Sure. Since
Maybe.
we're here.
Okay. So yeah, because it's like just down the street basically from it. It's a little shop, like it's a little cart basically set up at the corner. And I'll say like from when you heard about it when you're in the down market, somebody like saying like, yeah, there's a cart, but it's not like the ones here. It never moves. He's had that cart there for years. At this point, he really should just get a building, but at this point, everyone knows about the cart, so I suppose it makes sense that he wouldn't want to move. Yeah, anyway, so you get there and you see like this dwarf basically in the cart, and he sees you like walking over. He's already like, before you even like can do anything else, he's already like waving at you to like waving you over pretty much as he sees you.
Yeah.
And so you look like the sort that'd be interested in the sorts of magical baubles I sell here.
Depends on what your magical baubles can do.
Oh, they can do all sorts of wondrous things. Well, of course, some of them don't do anything at all, but most of them do.
I see.
You see, the fake ones that sometimes get sold here subsidize the real ones. And that's why I'm able to sell you useful items for such discounted prices.
Well, believe me, I'll be able to tell if you sell me something faulty. like you
Of
do in
course.
Intimidate.
The fake ones only trick the gullible, and clearly you aren't the gullible sort.
So, Nat 2033 on Intimidate.
Yeah. So he kind of brushes off the idea of him trying to con you guys as preposterous. He wouldn't do such a thing to you guys. He might do it to someone.
So,
I might con someone else, but I wouldn't do it to people like you.
well, what would you take me for? What do you think a person like me would want, since you seem to have a good idea of what kind of people we are?
He,
Or like, what's some of your best stuff?
some of my best stuff, you say. He pulls out like a little box and says that he's got this amulet here. if you wear this amulet, it will it'll mask your true intentions from other people.
Can I see it?
Well, you can look at it, I suppose. He opens up the box, and you can kind of see it's got like it's set up like it's a little like jewelry box kind of thing, and it's set up in there like a little amulet with a pendant on it.
Okay. You, this is what I want to do. I want to put my hands out, like I've seen Amber do, and
Okay.
act like I'm casting detect magic.
Okay, sure.
Is that gonna be like a bluff for performer? Not performer, but yeah, bluff maybe.
Yeah, bluff will work. So yeah, he probably so it's Tiki.
She's trying to figure out what he's doing.
Okay. So you probably can tell with the spellcraft check, like it as far as you can tell, it doesn't look like Philippe is actually casting anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not really sure what he's doing. Like you can't really tell. Like he seems like really convinced. He's like, man, it seems like he really is, but it's nothing. It's no like that's I guess that's the thing. You think he's casting something, but you don't recognize. You can't tell what it is. You're like, what the heck is he casting? Like I didn't even know Philippe could cast.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, yes, as you can tell, it's quite magical. This
Okay, I'm gonna sense motive on that.
okay. And he says this is the sort of thing if you know what I mean, some people might deal with this to try to avoid running afoul with paladins, for example. It's it's a amulet that wearing it will mask your true nature from those who would use divination magic to try to know your true self, you might say.
And so first of all, do
And
I
you think
he's
he's
telling the truth?
yeah, you think he's telling the truth.
And so what I'm gonna say, what kind of person do you take me for that I would need to hide from a paladin?
Well, I
Like,
mean,
like,
you're
'cause
in Kaer
he's
Maga
basically
after
calling
all.
me evil.
Yeah, kind of. Like that you might be in theory.
Now, I may have some less than moral sides, but I assure you, I'm in no such need of I'm in no need of such a trinket. What else do you have? Unless someone else says they are interested in it.
Let's see what I got in here. He kind of he's gonna try to look through, and I'm actually gonna roll on a table
Perhaps
for this one.
something to make a young prostitute boy tell me a secret. I don't know if I say that. I guess I say that, but that probably comes off weird.
A bottle of love.
It. He stops. Like he was about to like go and start rummaging through like stuff in the back of his car, but he stops for a second and thinks. He's like, I might have something like that.
Really? How often does this happen?
I'm
You'd be
hoping that
surprised.
he knows what I'm talking about. Like the male prostitutes are like the tallow boys, and I'm trying to get one of them to tell me information. I was gonna say get a towel boy to squeal, but I decided not to go with that wording.
Yeah.
But now I did, so you're
That's
welcome.
that's actually what he'll bring out. Is he'll bring out an elixir of love. He's like, this is
Perfect.
sure to make this is sure to make anyone fall in love with you and tell you their deepest secrets.
Hang on, I'm trying to read what it does to make sure. Wears off in 1d3 hours?
Mhm.
Oh, I need a permanency spell on this.
Yeah, I found that secret. Remember, I found that elixir that lets you change your sex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that exists.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh yeah, I think I read about that too.
it's to be, trans friendly.
That's actually pretty much why it
Well, so that
exists.
you don't need
Because
the cursed belt.
you don't need to have a cursed belt to do it. Yeah.
It's not a curse, it's a blessing.
Right. Well, that's the thing is the potion is one of those ones where you just like it's something you just willingly take, and I think it actually is like one of those things where like uh if I remember right, the way it works in Pathfinder is that particular potion. It's pretty much like it only works on people that are like willing for it to work on them, I guess. So it's not like one of those ones where you can just be like, I force someone to take the gender change potion or the sex change
That's
potion
funny.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
so it can't really be abused in that way.
yeah,
I remember the time you did that to Dake the first time, like we did a Tomb of Horrors. It wasn't a potion, but it was. He stepped into a room.
oh yeah, there was like he stepped into a room that did that. That's funny. I don't remember that actually, but I think that does sound like something that would happen in Tomb of Horrors.
When he came back to his male form, he decided to go back in on purpose.
Oh, that's great.
So,
Yeah, I don't think we quite finished it. You guys got pretty far though through it, like without dying.
this elixir of love, how much are you gonna charge for it?
It's like, well, for you, I could sell it to you for 140 gold.
140 gold. Okay, I want to appraise it.
Okay.
What do I think it's worth?
You think it's probably worth about what he is charging for it? Maybe even a little bit more.
Okay. Hmm. Oh man, I'm trying to decide if I should do it. Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, you can spend 140 gold and buy a potion of love
Is it one dose?
or elixir of love. It's one dose, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Who are
I'll
you
do
trying to
it.
give
I
this
mean,
to?
aliens dropped a bunch of gold on freaking slaves, so
Okay.
we're just gonna be
So-
screwed money wise.
Yeah. Well, maybe you guys will find some more money soon. I don't know. So yeah, he tells you he's like, be careful with this thing. When somebody drinks it, they fall in love with the first thing they see.
To make sure it's me. Okay, got it.
He exchanges it for the gold. Then it's like anything else I can do, you guys. I have this really cool belt I could sell you.
I'm afraid I don't think I can afford any more trinkets for now.
He goes back anyway and fishes out a belt. It's got three kind of demonic-looking faces on the
Wait,
on the
what?
buckle. And he says, "This is the belt of teeth."
The hell is that?
Well, when you're wearing this belt, the teeth, well, the faces here, they'll jump out and off the belt, and they'll protect you from harm. They'll bite out with nasty teeth and stop things from running past you and such.
Between you and me,
That
the
must
last
look
thing I
really
want
awkward.
is something around my waist scaring things away, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I suppose it wouldn't go well with the elixir of love.
Exactly.
Unless you're into that sort of thing.
No. No. Not teeth. No. So, yeah, if anyone else cares, they can, but I'll kind of step back and be like,
It's
nah,
like, I normally sell this for 4,000 gold, but for you guys, I will sell it to you for 3,500 gold.
No. No, no thank you.
Well, fair enough, fair enough. He goes and starts rummaging through some more stuff.
Let's go, quick.
okay, I'm gonna be like, okay,
Yeah,
good day,
I
thanks for everything.
I go with Tiki.
You walk
Okay,
away.
so you guys all just walk away. Alright.
I tell him, if we need money, we should probably check those that mercenary post pull thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I have some expensive habits. Could use some funding. That's why I have never been rich in my life.
Why don't we go check that out right now?
Sure.
So you guys are going to the, what's it called? The message post, I think?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or the
waiting
meeting post?
Job board.
It's the
Meeting post.
the
That's it.
meeting post, yeah. Okay. And I believe that was back in the down market or the Warrens. I don't remember where specifically. I'll have to check here.
It was in the Warren, I thought. Or was it in the hospice? Because it was by our inn? I don't remember.
No, it was in the it was either in down market or it was in the Warrens. It looks like it was in down market, maybe. Yeah, it was in down market. So you guys go back to down market again.
Woohoo!
So yeah, the meeting post, it kind of looks like a totem pole, basically. It kind of actually looks like it's probably it perhaps was Shawanti to make originally. Um, and yeah, it kind of towers above the all the stalls and such around in the market. So it's easily visible from anywhere in the district. So yeah, you guys are able to find it like really easily.
While we are in the down market, I'd like to pick up a nice bottle of wine
Okay.
and perhaps some glasses or something. You see where this is going?
Yeah, it's going towards date rape or something, but with prostitute,
It's,
I guess. So I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I'm paying for it. It's not
Yeah,
rape, certainly.
it's a little bit different, I guess, because you like you're paying for this
He's
already
willing.
anyway. You're trying to get more information out of it, and so it's a little bit different. Yeah.
It most certainly is not rape, and I would not use that word.
Okay, I apologize.
Thank you. Philippe would never do such a thing.
That's usually the more common use for this sort of for like an elixir of love, though, for sure.
All
Yeah.
right. So
It's
we
not
do we
really
get there?
normally a... Yeah, you guys get there. I'm trying to
All right,
see
I
what
go
sort
ahead
of
and check it.
contracts you might find there. I gotta like, I wasn't planned for you guys to go there, so I gotta like figure out some contracts you might
Haha.
find. So give me like a couple minutes to do that. Well, actually, I have a couple ideas now that I think about it. The stuff like some random stuff I was thinking about having potentially, so maybe that's an option for that. Oh God, why does this thing exist? Let's see. One of them that you'd see is kind of asking for people that are of like magical abilities mostly, and they say they have a strange problem they think is connected to the water plane in some way, and they have these very annoying invaders.
I
Please
think I know what that
see. Please see. I need a name here. Please see Passara in Hospice District, and has like an address there for more information. So that's one of the job postings that's up there.
What was it? Sorry.
Passara. I'll put that in chat. And it's like an address kind of somewhat near the lake, actually. It'd be kind of, I don't know, like there or something.
It doesn't exactly say
Okay.
what to do, just see the person.
Yeah, it just says that there's these
Yeah.
annoying, and that she thinks it's somehow related to the water plane, perhaps, and that they're just these nuisance that she's been having to deal with, and she thinks she might need somebody with some sort of magical expertise, perhaps, to look into it. Let's see some other ones you might find. There's also a couple different ones there. They're like saying there's one that says I need like a bodyguard for me while I attend while I'm attending a play tonight. It's a
When
high
it says
profile.
bodyguard, does it mean like an escort?
It just says it needs a bodyguard. That they need a bodyguard.
Does it specify a gender?
No, it just says I need a bodyguard who can protect me from my political and business enemies.
Okay, that's
Oh,
much
who's
less
this?
exciting than I was hoping for.
It doesn't actually specify. It just gives you a location in the high side stacks.
It's Abraham
it's just
Lincoln.
It's just a guy that says he wants a bodyguard while he attends a play tonight.
All right.
And
I look into that.
Anything
look into
that
that one.
requires like a group of people. Or are they all pretty much like single hire things?
There's a few that are like talking about wanting caravan escorts, but that would be you'd be looking at leaving the city. Like there's one that's like I need a
Yeah, we're not
someone
interested
to
in that yet.
escort me out to like there's actually one that's like saying like oh we're going up towards the like going up towards Riddleport. We're going to be going down the Storville steps and need some very capable bodyguards to get us safely through there and avoid running afoul of giants and orcs and other denizens of the Storville Plateau that may give us trouble. But those sort of ones, like I said, they're outside of the town, so you're probably not terribly interested in those.
Nope. I kind of already have plans tonight, so I definitely can't do the play one. But if there's anything that's like earlier in the day, I guess.
There's let's see here. There's one that might be too below your notice, I guess, which is there's one that's saying, "I've got trouble with goblins out in the Warrens. There's a group of goblins that's been getting a little too restless lately.
Meh.
Please
What's the
see."
reward?
It doesn't say like a specific number. It just says you will be paid handsomely, but you know, who knows what? It's for goblins, so it might not actually be all that much.
Maybe what I should ask
Um,
is, what's the most paying one that's not like a caravan leave the city?
um, the one that pays the most that you've seen are the two highest paying ones, I guess, are the first two that I said, the bodyguard one and the one about the one that pay talking about the needing like someone with some sort of magical knowledge and dealing with these extraplanar invaders that are super annoying. Doesn't even say they're dangerous. She just says they're really annoying.
Okay, well, I can't do that,
That one
and
probably
the
pays the
bodyguard
most.
one is schedule conflict, so I'm not interested in any right now.
And then yeah, there's probably a bunch of various like I don't know. Need someone to help me with project building. Project. I'm building a shelf. I'm really bad at this. I need someone to help me build a shelf. Like some of them are like not even mercenary work. They're just like basic, like
I'll go
handyman
help
jobs.
somebody build a shelf. If the shelf's all there, I can mending it, right?
Maybe, yeah.
If it needs to be mended.
Yeah, I mean, if they're building a brand new shelf, though, then mending
Oh.
probably wouldn't work, though, right?
Oh, right. They can't like buy pre-made shelves in a box that they put together around here, huh? Wizards don't produce those kind of products, do they? Yeah, nothing I can really do about annoying water plane stuff other than make more water.
Well, is that something that we could do? Is if Brugar wants to look into this bodyguard thing tonight, can he do that?
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say like, anybody wants to come along while Philippe does his thing.
Uh, I mean, I guess I'll go with Brugar, and as long
I
as
mean, the
they'll
bodyguard
allow
thing didn't
it.
sound like it was a multi-person job.
I'm like the
That's what
sidekick.
I'll just take Tiki along with me.
Getting-
She's tiny.
I'm a harmless pet. I'm a pet. I don't know. They don't know the difference.
Alias and hey, Alias and Bash, I forget your name. The other two. You guys should go see about helping that dude build something.
The Alias and his the three amigos.
Yeah, through Shawanti, you're like a big ol' crew.
We're all gonna go make some money.
Yeah, there's like some manual labor jobs they could go
Yeah.
do, and that'd make them a little bit of money.
Why are we earning money?
Cause
I
I'm
don't know.
fucking poor.
Because
Why
Alias
aren't
spent a
we
bunch of money on
pursuing
slaves,
our
and I
leads?
spent a bunch of money on a freaking elixir of love.
That's what I'm also trying to get
Well,
to
that's what I
happen
am
too.
doing.
But that's our
Nice.
only.
That's what I'm doing. You guys can do your other leads.
No, there's some other stuff you guys could do. You just aren't doing it. So I mean, I don't know.
Well, we could be whatchamacallit.
I mean, if you don't do anything
looking
else,
for
stuff's
people,
gonna
right?
happen to you eventually. Like
Sure.
that's the thing that's great about Pathfinder is eventually I can just have adventures happen to you if you don't actually go and do adventures.
I'm trying to do stuff, right? Like that. That's.
Oh yeah. You're on the
Okay.
way towards doing stuff. Stuff's happening. It's just it doesn't seem like it really right now. I guess maybe, but there's stuff happening. What the heck? Why does this thing exist?
Okay then, to a play
So we split the party again.
for tonight, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. Plan is meet up tomorrow morning. Before we all split up.
Yeah. This might just be
Alrighty.
This will probably just be like pretty straightforward anyway, because like pretty.
It doesn't have to be like a
anyway.
long thing for any of us.
Yeah.
Maybe some
Right.
skill check.
Mine might be.
Are we successful?
It's gonna be a very long night.
Yeah. So I guess when Brugar and Tiki like make their way over to the location indicated there on the high side stacks, like they take the notice and go there. Yeah, like there's like someone like a kind of a there's someone like waiting there pretty much there, like a bouncer basically who's like it's like, are you here about the job?
I
I let the
got
boss
my armor
know,
on and stuff.
Yep, yep.
and he goes in and he like he lets you in and kind of into this tower, and he says, "Wait here."
All right.
And the guy comes down and he's kind of like dressed really nicely. It's this kind of older looking guy, and
Mhm.
says, "Oh, you must be the bodyguards, yes?"
Aye, we're here about the job.
It's like, "My name is Arcadius."
I
And
give him my hand and I say, Brugar.
I have many. He shakes your hand. He's like, "I have many enemies that so that I usually try to keep some. I don't keep a whole lot of people on staff here at my residence, but so the ones I do have here, I need to stay here and keep infiltrators from coming in and conducting espionage here. In a very cutthroat business. So that's why I need a bodyguard to accompany me to my to this play that I'm gonna go see."
Does he really have many enemies?
I was sure gonna say he's got money. All right. Nothing out of the ordinary. It sounds like. What's it pay?
Yeah, he says I can give you 100 gold to accompany
Alright.
me to the, and if there is any trouble, I'll pay you more based on what sort of trouble it is.
All right. I'll do it.
Okay. And yet he's basically just in another spot in Down Market called the Lakeside Amphitheater.
All right. I go there and I.
it's yeah, of course, remember it was raining earlier today, but by this point in the day, it's kind of the rain's kind of died down. It was really kind of a light rain earlier.
Mhm.
But it's still cloudy out. But regardless, this is an open air amphitheater,
It's nice.
and he's got kind of his own private, like, well, I don't know what you call those, like a booth kind of thing at the.
A box.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like his own private box basically, and yeah, you guys basically get to stand there and you get to watch this play while you're being his bodyguard basically.
Sweet.
Well, I stay
can
perceptive.
roll-
I tell
Yep.
Tiki to like listen up, but enjoy the thing. I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Okay.
I got my
you'll
perception going.
That's a perception to see if there's any trouble. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And if anyone comes along, I tell them to like, hey, move it. Give them the old intimidate, like, nothing to say here. Go on, get out.
yeah. And yeah, like they probably have like refreshments and stuff they bring there. So do you do any sort of like anything in particular about those? Do you force them to have to interface with you pretty much to bring the refreshments
yeah.
in, for example?
They have to interface with me, and I'm not always
Like they-
user friendly.
Okay, what does Alios and the 3 Shawanti amigos do for today then? Like while these guys are doing that, and while Philippe's doing his thing.
Um,
Do they take one of the odd jobs like that and go like help build build shelves or whatever?
No.
Okay. I guess you can think about what you want to have them do, and I'll do what Philippe is doing. I guess he's
Okay.
obviously going to try to. He's going to go try to find the same guy from last night, I guess, and spike some
Yeah,
wine
because
or
I
something.
thought that he knew something, but he wouldn't tell me.
Yeah, you could with your sense motive last night. You were able to tell, like when you asked him about the Tallow Boys, specifically, like he was like very, like he was kind of just evasive about it. Like it seemed like he knew more than he was letting on.
Like he knew more, or that he was one.
You couldn't really tell for sure. Maybe he was one of them, but he definitely knew more than he was letting on about them.
Okay. I'm wondering if I shouldn't save this potion for actually asking one. Okay, well first things first, go back and try and find the same dude.
Okay.
Like perception to find him or something.
Yeah, you probably find him pretty easily.
I want to roll perception because I have a perception skill. 39.
Okay. Yep, no problem.
Okay, so I find him and I pay him more than last night. So last night was like 10. This time
Okay.
I'll give him 19.
Okay, sure.
That puts me at an even number of gold.
I figured it was something like that.
I was at 469, just saying. So basically, without getting into too many details, go back to my room, do some
Okay.
stuff. I ask him again, does he seem like pretty early on, I ask him again about it. Does he say anything more?
He says that usually, if the Tallow Boys know you're looking for them, they'll contact you.
Okay, and I say, because, okay, I say, hopefully they're as good looking as you are.
Okay.
And then trying to compliment him. See if
Right.
he'll tell me anything more. Is that like
Okay,
diplomacy?
sure. Sure. I mean, unless you're lying to him, I guess.
No, he is gorgeous because
Okay.
I paid a lot
Sure.
of money. Try to see if he has any more information. 19.
He's like, well, I'm sure they are, but I
Okay.
wouldn't know anything about that.
Okay, so for the record, yeah, do not waste my elixir
You
love
don't
on
waste
this
your
guy.
love. Okay.
He's just a pawn to get to the queen, you know.
Uh-huh.
So, okay. That's pretty much my night. Good times.
Okay.
And then I don't, they find me like what, come on Pluto, what am I supposed to do with that? Out of character. Like just wait.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
We'll tell him you're
Okay.
looking for them, and well, maybe they'll
Okay,
find you.
true. Yeah. Maybe that's cheating, having secret talk, but I mean, obviously he knows I'm looking for them, so.
He hinted
Yeah.
it to you. I mean, I don't know.
No, there's it's you've actually already done enough. I'll just tell you that now. Like there's a thing that's gonna happen very soon, but
Okay,
get to
so
that.
stop hooking up with dudes all the time because I've done.
Oh no,
enough.
you can
Okay.
keep doing that if you want. I don't mind.
It's
You
I'm
do what
gonna
you
run out
do.
of gold soon.
I'm okay with that.
Okay,
That's
so
your
anyways,
problem.
That's my night.
Okay.
Great.
What does So what does Aelios and the three amigos do?
Oh, for the record, I was wearing my ring of
Amigos.
protection the whole time.
Okay.
So I was using protection.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh my god. Please.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
What's like the time length of this?
This is basically like any time during the day, really. Like this is pretty much all day. Nothing's really happened today, basically. You guys pretty
Okay,
much wandered around the city all day and did some jobs. Well, I mean that's what Brugar and Tiki are doing. They're doing a job pretty much. And other than that, it was like you guys went to a few different places trying to gather information about Amber. But yeah, you have like basically over half of a day and the evening to do stuff with if you want.
We're gonna go down to the lake and hang out down there.
Hang out with the Freeman?
I think with all the Shawanti, right? They're having like a powwow down at the lake.
I don't even see Alias's token. Did it disappear? Oh, it's underneath there.
hiding.
Okay. Wait, do you go? That's the amphitheater. You go to the amphitheater too?
The water?
No, you just go hang out at the lake? Okay. That's fair enough. Maybe you guys join the gnomish fishermen and do some fishing.
Is he still
Yeah.
out there?
He's like back out there again.
Oh man.
He's got a little boat that he goes out on. He's like the only one that goes out there on a boat, but he does it like every day. He goes out there fishing. And there's like not really any fish in there. Well, he says there's some fish in there though, but like it doesn't make sense for there to really be any fish in there, does it? In any case. Okay, yeah, so you guys go hang out at the lake then. Alright, that's fair enough. Let's see here. Let's roll some dice.
We haven't had any combat for a while. We should have some combat. Just saying.
Huh?
Well, here's
We
the
didn't
thing:
go
is
looking for it.
going and doing combat while the whole party's split up is like the worst time to do combat.
No, not yeah. No, I don't mean like now.
But
I'm sure there's some coming.
yeah, I'm gonna say there's no like your bodyguard thing. You don't end up actually running into any difficulties really, and
I do good.
yeah, Arcadius seems like really pleased with the work you
20
did.
perception, 20 intimidate with my friend Tiki here also, making sure that she has my back
Yeah.
covered.
So
Wait,
he
yeah.
gives you like the 100 gold he promised you, and then he also gives you each like 10 gold extra, like 10 gold to Brugar and 10 gold to Tiki, so 20 gold over like
Alright.
120 gold total for you to split up basically. So he basically gives you a little bit of extra like
120.
Yeah, he gives you 120 gold basically for your.
I give her
he
half.
gives you like, yeah, he gives you a tip basically for like your professionalism basically.
60
Yeah.
And
gold?
Yep, 60.
Okay.
You get 60. I
And,
tell you, good work, Tiki.
Yeah, the play was like,
She doesn't know why, but yeah.
it was a comedy. It probably wasn't as good as the troll one that Brugar was talking about maybe, but
Oh yeah, my stories are fucking awesome.
Tiki
was like
probably
it was like a
would
comedy, though.
continuously talk to Brugar, being like, "Do they really do things like that? Are they really like that? Do they really say things like that?" Since it's a comedy.
And it's like an over the top like comedy, like it's like a comedy where it's over the comedy of it is how it's like overly dramatic, like kind of making fun of like nobles, like especially
Oh.
because there aren't any nobles in Kaer Maga. But it's like this story about these different kings and such, and their overly dramatic lives. And then there's like all this like stuff in the background happening, and like this where like there'll be like minor characters describing this stuff that sounds like this really epic struggle of like good and evil, and then the nobles don't care about it, and they're instead talking. They're like, yeah, but enough about that. What about my stupid petty problems? And so it's like that's the kind of play it is. I'll say. I don't know. I just made that up on the spot, but
Pretty good. I'd
Sounds
go see
good.
it.
4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
that could be
Perfect
like
5
your
out
other
of
job
7.
is you write like reviews about like plays that you
Yeah.
bodyguard. You watch while as a bodyguard.
But yeah, I tell Tiki, good job. You didn't have to do much, which was good for us. Sometimes you don't have to do much, but the point is that you were there, you stuck it out with me, and I know you had my back.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny play. Strange though.
Yeah, those things for the birds. My friend really would like to see it though. I do miss actually seeing plays. We used to do that. Haven't done that in a long time.
Oh no, don't give her the idea
Gotta
of
work.
starting a play. Let's start a play!
I'll say that's the name of the play, The Epic of Good, Evil, and Frivolity.
Yay.
Pretty good name. I like it.
And I'll
Tiki,
say
we
like
should
also
go into
the,
business with each other and like
at the
make
end
some
of it,
kind of guild.
the guy who wrote it also was like there and kind of gives like a little speech about thanking everyone for coming out and seeing his play that he wrote. And so yeah, because this was like written by a local playwright.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right. And I guess we'll just move on to the next day. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We rendezvous.
So, yeah, the next day, let's see. We'll say the guy that was there left early that day, like got up really early and left. But a little bit after he leaves, when Philippe leaves, or like Philippe comes out of his door, he sees like a note kind of stuck to the wall of his, or to the wall
Stuck
next to
to
his
his
door.
ass cheek.
No, it's stuck. It's stuck next to the door. It's like in an envelope, a sealed
Aw.
envelope.
Okay. I'll open it.
When did I get this runic tattoo? And what does it say?
How much did it drink last?
Somebody read magic my ass.
Yeah. So it has a address in like basically the 2 street corners listed in the hospice district.
Is the address to me?
And it says on there that, like, it says on there, just has that address and says like meet here, and
in like
it's
the common or
it's
whatever.
signed. It's in Talden, and it's signed TB.
TB. Tallow.
Mhm.
Tallow Boys.
Yay.
I see.
Total
I
biscuit.
put it together.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's Total
I'd be
Biscuit.
down
Yeah.
with Total Biscuit there too.
Oh.
Okay, cool. So after I get dressed and have breakfast and meet up with the others, my plan is to go there. But let's meet up with the others.
Alright, I'll go. What kind of place are we going to like get this information? I ask him, does it sound like I should bring my armor and my weapons?
It's pretty much just 2 street corners. It's like the corner where 2 streets meet in the
I
hospice
don't
center
think
district, so it's not very
I
far
don't know
away.
if we're going. It seemed like it was addressed to
Oh, is it
just
just me,
me,
Philippe?
or did it seem like it was, for everyone?
It doesn't say. It just literally just has like an address, and
I guess what are you more comfortable with,
Oh, if
Philippe?
it doesn't say, we're
By
all
it
yourself?
says it just says an address and like says pretty much like we have something to discuss, and just then has that address and is signed TB.
How about if Philippe goes and maybe we go, but we trail behind him and then like wait for him at like some place. So maybe if he gets in trouble, we can go and try and get him.
Yeah, I like that. Like I go in at first on my own, and then if they say it's okay or whatever, then I get you guys. Because I don't really
Okay.
want to bring,
Or just have
especially
us
with all the
somewhere like
slaves.
a block away or something.
Yeah, yeah. I'd rather not bring the
Yeah, we'll do
entire
that.
group in for a discreet first meeting, you know?
Mm,
Might be best to have the Shawanti, well, BD and P stay behind or something. Maybe like me, Alias, and Tiki should go keep his back.
And have those two like stay at your room at the
Have the other
Canary
three
House or
stay
something
at
for
like the
now.
Canary or something. Because if they see us like walking around a bunch with the four Shawanti, it's gonna get really suspicious.
All right.
Be easy for them to identify. I mean, it's already easy for them to identify us because we have a frog.
Yeah, it's pretty noticeable, even if she's really short.
You're good at hiding though, Tiki.
If she wants to, yeah, she could probably.
All right, so yeah, we'll do that then. Three of
If
us
she
will stay
wore like
behind, and
a
Philippe will.
hooded robe or something, she might be able to pretend she's a halfling or something.
Oh yeah, you can get yourself some nice new clothes, Tiki, with that 60 gold. Tailor it just for you.
Okay, so is that what you guys are doing then? You're having Philippe kind of go in there, and you guys are gonna be like maybe
We're gonna
half a
hang back.
block away, kind of. Yeah, hang back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to the street corner. What do you do when you get there? Just like look around, see if you can try to find someone. That what do you do?
Yeah, I guess first things first, be perceptive.
Okay.
39 again.
Okay. So as you're kind of standing there looking around, you see someone who's obviously like walking towards you. Like
Is
they look
he a
like they're trying
young
to be.
boy? Well, not young,
Yeah, he's
but
kind of well. Okay, it's someone that's kind of dressed a little more like dingy, but yes, it's a younger looking guy that and he's walking towards you, and he's trying to you can tell he's trying to look like he's not, but it's like he's trying to be kind of sneaky about it, but it's like you're really good at noticing these sort of things, so you can tell right away that he's walking towards you.
when you say he's like, how's he dressed? Like scantily?
No, he's dressed kind of in like not really nice clothes. Like they look like they're kind of like a little
Oh,
scuffed
okay.
up and whatnot. Like it looks like he's like he doesn't look like homeless or anything like that, or like they're really dirty or anything.
But
But it
he's
looks like
on the
he's
poorer side.
yeah, he's not some. He looks like someone on the poorest side. He doesn't look like he's someone from like the what was the name of that place you were going to before? Well, he
I
doesn't
have
look like
no
he was
idea.
going. He doesn't look like he was from that place you were at before. That would be the the strapping lad.
oh,
That's right.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's from the strapping lad specifically, at least with how he's dressed. But you can
Yep.
like tell he's coming up, and he has like a piece of paper that he's holding,
Okay.
and he kind of like as he gets closer, he kind of notices that you already noticed him, and so you can see he's kind of like I guess if you roll a sense motive.
You know, you love playing on my strongest skills.
Uh-huh. Okay, you can tell.
Philippe is deep throat.
You can
or
tell that
something,
he's
I
like
don't know.
really like he notices that you see that he's there. You can tell that he's very uh like nervous about it. That you see him. Like you could tell he's not he's like fidgeting a lot, and he kind of gets close, and since you know he like since you're looking like at him, he basically just kind of like hesitantly kind of just hands you this piece of paper,
Uh-huh.
and then he just turns around. He starts trying to turn around and leave.
Okay.
You
He
just
can
look at
do
the paper
that.
then and let him do that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he's a messenger based on how, he's dressed as a poorer person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what's on the paper?
All right. Well, the paper says to like write below here what information you're looking for, and then it tells you to leave it in the box, and it kind of describes a box. It says it needs a box with a picture of a swallow carved into it that you should be able to find uh, on this street corner. Like put it in that box after you write in what information you need.
Okay. That's not sketchy at all. Okay, so I'll go back to the party at this point if it looks like no one else is coming to see me.
Okay, yeah,
No one else
no one else is looking to see you. I'll say you probably with the perception roll earlier when you were like looking around, you actually already saw a box with a swallow on it, like on that street
Okay.
corner. And yeah, it's like a little mailbox kind of thing.
I do prefer swallow over anything else.
Okay, thanks for that.
Anyways. Sorry.
Yeah, Zerdrum's always necessary.
No,
Extremely
I
necessary.
think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I am completely joking. And if you want me to stop, I will.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so,
Of course, if I
I go back
swallow,
to
I
the
mean a
party.
bird.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, just making sure we're clear.
As long as it's not a crow, that's all.
No, it's not a crow. All right, so you go back to the party, and
So this is what I got, and I show them the paper. It says, we're supposed to write what information we want here, and
it's
put
written
it
in
in
really
a
blocky
box.
handwriting that, uh, like with
Alright,
yeah,
that
it's
should be
written in.
easy. Alias? You let him know.
There's so many things we
Yeah,
could
what?
ask about. We could ask about Alias's brother. We could ask about Akai. We could ask about the Amber and the toy maker. Or, well, we don't know if the guy's a toy maker, but ask about where Amber's at.
You gotta also
I
keep in
suppose.
mind you wanna. Well, I guess I'm the DM, but I won't. I'll be quiet about this. I'm curious actually.
Oh god, now I'm worried we're doing some
I'll go ahead and just say, keep in mind what you think you can actually get from these. Like, what you ask is gonna matter. I don't have like a specific thing I'm gonna have them give you. I have things that they know. So, yeah.
Yep.
If you ask the
So,
wrong question, you can end up not getting anything useful from them.
what's interesting to me is they didn't ever mention any form of payment. I guess it depends on what we want to know. I say to the party.
I don't know.
I figured that we were
If
gonna
we get a
ask him
genie
about,
and you say, you wish for more wishes, maybe what we want to know is how to know everything.
Well, I figured that what we were gonna ask is where are the Shawanti being kept by that were purchased by what's his name? Akai?
That's another
Kai
good question.
Alardok.
Yeah, by the Ardok. That way we at least know where they are so we can tell the others, hey, like we think they're in here, like we should plan a raid on this place.
So what we heard is that their price is expensive. How much are we willing to pay for this information?
Well, Tiki and I just made 120 gold last night, so pitch in whatever we got out of that.
I can throw in a fair share, but I don't know how expensive it's going to be. We can't bankrupt ourselves to try and get a little information.
Well, sometimes you gotta spend money to make money.
Very, very true. Okay. So, does Amber is the one that always had writing utensils. I don't have any. Does anyone have anything to write with?
Let me see.
That's funny. I didn't even consider that.
Nope. Nothing to write.
I don't think we have anything to write with.
What sort of detective doesn't have a notepad to write things on?
I remember everything in my head.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, I guess.
Okay, so we'll go to a store and find
I
some
go find
writing
somewhere to
utensils.
borrow a pen.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, that's easy enough to do.
Okay, so we'll do that, and I guess I'll write down.
I mean, this is you guys are really close to the Canary House. Even like you're in the same district as you probably could even go back and borrow one from in the Canary House even.
True. Let's do that.
Yep.
So write down. What do we want to do? Where are the Shawanti being held that Akai is purchasing, or what's happening to them? Where are they at?
I don't know. Is that what you want to write?
I don't know. I'm asking the party.
What was that?
What do
He's
we
wondering
want to
what.
ask where the Shawanti are being held, or what Akai's doing with them after he buys them?
I think we want to know
Write what.
where they're being held.
Yeah, whatever you write it down in chat so I can write it down as well in my notes for next
Okay.
session because I think we're about a point where we're gonna call it a session. But yeah, that would be good for me because I can just use your exact wording to figure out how they're gonna react or how they're gonna respond. And
Like,
we didn't
where are
even
they
get
being
Aichi.
held, and what kind of like guards are like, maintaining their capture or their, you know. I think that would be close enough to be like, relevant information. 2 for 1.
Yeah. So
Are we rolling ability score rolls?
I don't know. I guess so.
Bam.
No, he was
Burgar is quite with why.
Zidorian was saying, I don't know, I was gonna ask the party to help. And so I was rolling to show why Tiki's not helping.
It's okay, Tiki. I'll take you under my beard and express my wisdom.
There we go. Amber usually guides her, but Amber's gone, so I don't know. You're it.
Yep, I get to mold this wonderful clay.
Yeah. Well, maybe Amber will be coming back in a few days or whatnot in game time. Partially depends on when Mantis gets back, honestly. But
Yeah.
sure. I'm just gonna go vague and hope that it, you know, we talk or they give us answers or whatever. We can
Well,
get more specific.
specifically what we want is the where are they being held and
But we don't know
what
that they're alive even.
is.
He could be killing them.
Doubtful. Why would he purchase somebody to kill somebody?
Well, maybe we could get this. What if we ask, what is he doing with the Shawanti, and if they're alive, where are they being held?
Sure. Okay.
I mean,
I'm basically saying
yeah.
As
I
one
find it funny you guys are
sentence.
kind of be like cautious about worrying it, like it's like you're worried about wishcraft or something. Like, oh
Right.
no,
I know we
what if...
shouldn't be that worried, but I figured that's reasonable, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted to do
I
it in
find that
one
kind
sentence, you would do it as probably like, if the Shalanti were still alive, where are
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Something along those lines, Pluto.
they?
Yeah. What is he
You know
doing
something
with
along
them?
the... I
What does
mean,
he
that's the
plan to
thing.
do
That's what I'm
with
saying. It's not like you guys are dealing with a like a fucking genie or
A
something
genie.
that's gonna corrupt your request or something. Like this, these are information brokers. Like
They want to satisfy their customers.
yeah, and then they'll want something in return probably, but we'll get to that next session.
Did we decide how much money we're leaving in the thing?
We're not leaving any money in it. They didn't ask for money yet.
They didn't ask for a payment yet. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're just asking for like they don't know what information.
I'm sure we got the money to cover.
They don't know how
They'll
much
probably
to
only
charge
want
us,
like a
they don't know
couple
what we
hundred.
want. Only.
I'm guessing it's gonna be a couple hundred.
Either that or they won't want money and they'll want something else, like information.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll pay them in bed. What?
They probably don't want that.
Oh, come on. Of course they
Sorry,
do. Who doesn't?
they probably don't.
It would hurt
This Fleet Blues
Philippe's
West
ego.
talking about.
So we're going with this last one here. What does Akai do with the Shawanti? Even though you didn't spell Shawanti correctly, but that's fine. That's how you spell Shawanti, just for what it's worth.
I like my way more.
Shawanti. And
Yours is show anti.
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Shawanti, but
I'm pretty sure you're right, but it looks like show anti.
I could be wrong. It might actually be pronounced that way, but I don't know.
I doubt
Okay.
it. Hang on, dictionary.com.
No.
Like dictionary is
I
gonna
don't-
have Shawanti.
I don't think they'll have that in there. It's not a real word.
Okay, Microsoft Sam.
Go Ash.
I mean, the wiki tells you how to pronounce it.
Does Tiki have
Apparently
any
it's
like?
shown. Microsoft Sam says it's shown. So there.
Well, they're stupid.
Okay.
All right,
So anyway,
let's
Shawanti.
go.
So we going
Let's
with
go to the commons.
what does Shawanti or what does Arkai Ardok do? Does Akai, excuse me, what does Akai Ardok do with the Shawanti he buys, and where does he take them? Is that like kind of what you're asking? Okay.
Yeah, that. And then at the
Let's wait
bottom I go
for the answer.
P.S.
And that'll be
something
P.S.
secret that I should whisper to Pluto.
Oh god.
Right.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I won't do that. I don't want to mess this up for the party.
I think it'd be funny, but
Don't ruin it with your dick.
and then you guys go down to the commons.
I vote to go down to the commons and have some brewskis while we wait.
Okay.
Out of character Pluto, I do want to include some other stuff, but I'll include it at a later time after we meet whoever we talk to.
Oh,
I
okay.
may like hang back and talk to him or something like that.
There's like some
But I do-
extra information you want to get that just
I
Philippe
wanna
is
get some
interested
of
in.
my own. Yeah, I want to get some of my own
Okay,
backstory stuff involved.
I like that. Okay.
The backstory that I'm
Yeah,
coming
you're
up with, during our sessions.
okay. Yeah, because I don't have I have like stuff for everyone's backstory except for I don't have a whole lot for Brugar yet because Brugar just joined the party, and I don't have much for Philippe because I actually don't really know much. I don't actually know much about Philippe's backstory. I know more about like everyone
No,
else's.
you know more than I do though. Isn't that
Okay.
crazy? No, I'm kind of like building stuff as we go through it. Like when I see moments where I can like try and kind of drop stuff about my
Yeah.
backstory, I'm doing it, and then I'm writing notes, and I'm gonna put it all
Okay.
together and make something up. Because I kind of had an idea before we went into all this, and now I'm just kind of like connecting some dots, and then I'll give you some of those
Okay.
dots.
Well, I'd like that because if you give me something I can work with, then I probably will try to get something in there specifically for your character, even if it's not something that connects with like everyone else's. But
No, it might not. It probably won't. But it may be something that happens around the same time or comes into play here.
Okay. I will be right back. I use a restroom, but this is pretty close to the end of the session. I'll probably give you guys some experience in a second, but like I said, I gotta use a restroom real fast.
Okay.
I got a lot of experience this session
Yeah,
in the bedroom.
yeah.
Good for
I think
you.
I'll make myself dinner.
Yum.
Yeah, waiting for Mantis Man. Need him to complete Friday night's party too.
Well, luckily Asha's a little easy to run.
Yeah, although she says some interesting things sometimes.
I can probably help you out
She
with
does
that.
some interesting things. Like, what was that one thing that we were talking about for a while that she like very impulsively did?
Stepped on that guy's head.
Are you
and
talking about
Araxi
this
didn't like it.
campaign or?
No, I stepped on his head. Killed somebody that didn't need to die. She said she wasn't gonna do it, but did it anyways.
All right, I'm back. XP,
Like
right?
what?
Sure.
Is there?
Yes. Not for like any combat because we didn't get to that. I did have some combat that I thought you guys might get to, but it didn't quite happen because
We didn't storm the castle.
Because players do what players do.
you guys went a different route, which I like. I like the way you guys went anyway. So I'm happy with. I had fun with this. This.
Yeah, I was trying to make it a little interesting, although maybe a little bit too sexual. Maybe.
Don't worry, there'll be lots of combat for you guys tomorrow on Friday night's game.
Oh yeah.